home game. Yes, I understand that we are in Los Angeles, Inglewood, technically SoFi Stadium, but this is basically AT&T West. So follow me this way. We're going to see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game? We're going to beat the shit out of them.
Us losing the Sam.
How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
It is
Dak
unreal.
Prescott has been very
It is,
consistent with the division. He has
it is
took us
an
back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? His winning record is above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the Can Fan podcast.
Let's
Go! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go! Cowboys Nation represents! Cowboys Nation represents! Let's go! Get out of here!
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him, son. All day, every day.
Crack him if you got him, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos!
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want some repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not going to make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you. Because you've oh God.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
This is our year.
Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Let's go!
Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing up!
Most pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and they can
Not only the size, but the speed of the linemen? Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me, a sporty 240?
Yeah, baby!
Is this technically the first show of the offseason?
You know it, baby.
First show of the offseason, the 2024 NFL offseason. And that actually sounds worse than I could even imagine, the 2024 offseason.
Oh, the Sahara Desert of Cowboys content.
Well,
Actually,
not
you know
yet.
what? Not yet.
Not
Actually,
yet.
you're right.
The Sahara Desert, we got a couple months before the Sahara Desert. Before we get anything, though, let's get one of them. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
But, hey, I know everyone's looking at us right now.
Like a brother show? Like a brothers only exclusive show?
It's just the brother exclusive show, but that's not true. We got AJ all the way in Thailand. Bring that little son of a gun in here.
Okay, well, AJ and...
Well, just get AJ. Let me do my build up.
Okay, well, I can't...
Oh, you can't bring him in?
I can't bring one in at a time.
Okay, well, then I'm not going to just do AJ.
So it's a tag team. It's a new tag team.
So to help us with our off-season sorrow, we got a draft specialist from CFO Sports, J Tuck himself. What up, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on? My bad, AJ, for messing up your intro. Your solo.
Hey, fuck them.
Yeah, we passed the 7 seconds. We can drop F-bombs if we want to. J Tuck, AJ, how's it going, fellas?
Things are going good, man. Going good. Like you said, it's the off season, Cowboys Nation. Even though you said it's the Sahara Desert, there's never a dull moment with the Cowboys, man. So it's been around the clock coverage. Draft season's coming up. A player can't stop from talking and podcasting. So it's news every day. Cowboys fans are outraged, but it's fun. This is when the fun really begins. So let's get back to it, Cowboys Nation.
Thailand boy, how you doing?
Thai boy.
I'm doing good. First day got severely burned on my lily white arms and legs. And so that was really tender to sleep on. But still looks red, pink as a pig, but doesn't hurt anymore. So, I'm having a good time, and I'm having one of these San Mig lights. They are 5% alcohol as opposed to the typical 4.8% that you'd find in a Chung. And they also have less calories. So I won't come back with
Fat.
such a big tire around my waist.
He's gonna come back as Fat Jay.
So this is our first episode since the Super Bowl. We haven't went live since. We brought J Tuck on, a guy that actually was at the Super Bowl reporting. And I just kind of wanted to ask, I was following some of your stuff. I was following your stories, your Twitter. What exactly were you doing down there? And who were you working for? How did you get the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl? I don't know if you got paid. Who cares if you got paid? You got to go to the fucking Super Bowl. But how did that come to life?
Yeah, it was a good opportunity, man. I think it was a good opportunity, not just for me, but just for all content creators in general. And have a huge shout out to my guy Darren Smith, who's pretty much like the supreme capo here when it comes to covering the Kansas City Chiefs. So he has his own radio station, so he brought me along. But also Dez Bryant at High Point Sports, so I kind of like a tag team partnership. Yeah, throw up the X-Man for Dez, man. Salute to my guy Dez. So they both kind of brought me out there just to kind of do coverage. And like I said, as a content creator, when you got there, it's like, man, I was kind of nervous, come kind of outside of my scope. And, I'm a Cowboys guy, even though I know the Chiefs and I know the 49ers, those aren't my team. So I kind of just put my head down and kind of worked hard. But I was kind of like, man, do I really belong? And I tell you guys, when I walked in there for the first time in media role, it was just everywhere. I mean, Pat McAfee, Kay Adams, and everything is just. And I'm just like, man, Tuck, I don't know if you belong here. And as soon as I sat in that chair, it was like, nah, this is your shit, bro.
Hell yeah.
And then I kind of got up, started talking to people, man. Got to interview a lot of the great players that you guys saw, from Pat Mahomes to Christian McCaffrey to Michael Irvin. The list goes on and on. And I felt like it was my opportunity to show not only I belong, but us content creators belong in that same building as some of those media folks that you see on TV every day.
Sounds like you had a terrible time.
Well, I did, because the very first day I got there on Wednesday, a lot of people went out there on Monday. I got there on Wednesday. I logged 25,000 steps.
Jeez.
Every first day. So I was on the move. That was Wednesday. Thursday was 23,000. And then Friday it was like 21. Saturday I locked myself in my hotel room and didn't do anything. And then the Super Bowl on Sunday, it was like 19,000. So I got a stress fracture on my foot. I was in the booth, but I'm recovered now. I'm back in the gym. I'm back healthy. But small price to pay for salvation, as Thanos said.
And Vegas, right? Like, what a place to have the Super Bowl. What a place to Vegas has to be a mainstay for any NFL event. For every 5 years, they need to have one of the main events. Like, it just needs to be. It's such a good city. The way it's set up, I don't know. Did they close down the strip? Like, how did they? What was set up? How was it set up down there?
Yeah, they did. They did a much better job in the draft, because the draft they shut down the whole strip, which made it pretty much impossible to move, man. But Vegas did an incredible job. I mean, it was star-studded. Like, you'd be in the hotel and just see celebrities walking through, or at the blackjack table. I mean, I was at the craps table, and Offset from Amigos was right there, right next to me. Like, now their money stack's a lot different from mine, what I'm saying? But it was just like cool to kind of intermingle with celebrities and athletes and entertainers. Like, I'll be playing with Offset, and then here's Gerald McCoy right here, and then it's just so many people walking around, and it was all love. The energy was there. The city was all love. Parties at the parties, drinking at the drinking. It was nonstop. So when I finally got home, I slept, man. But Vegas put on an amazing event. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. And you combine that with the NFL and the Super Bowl, it was star-studded. So definitely a great time. And I can't wait to go back.
You know what the cherry on top was? The Niners lost.
Yeah.
And the Niners lost, man. And that was the crazy thing, right? Because a lot of those 49ers fans, they were on 10. Like they was walking around like they owned the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, are they that damn confident? So 49ers fans have already pretty much inked that they were going to beat the Chiefs, right? There was no concern. I was kind of talking to a few of them. And then overtime, when they made the first field goal, that place erupted. And 49ers fans were celebrating, going crazy, drinks spilling. And I was like, I could have swore they changed the rules, so I had to double check to make sure I wasn't crazy. And like I thought that the Chiefs got the ball back, and to see Pat Mahomes march down the field and score that final touchdown and rip their souls. I got it on camera. I posted it on my my social media. They was so hurt, and me, just a little Cowboys fans kind of walking up and like, okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. A lot of people didn't know that the rule change was happening. And when we were watching it, Anthony
Different though. Different. I knew if
Anthony,
they kick a field goal, they didn't win.
Anthony,
I thought if San Fran, if San Fran,
he won't even let me finish my story.
We're brothers, J-Tuck, by the way. So you'll see this.
Who's the older one? Who's older?
Right here.
Okay.
I thought if San Fran scored a touchdown, they won the game, but they changed that, and that's what I was arguing. I was like, if San Fran scores here, they win.
The problem is that, and when I didn't even care.
And I was wasted. I was hammered.
As we were arguing about it, Alex and I were trying to verify the rules. And I think the rest of the world was, because NFL.com, the rules section was crashing. Like you couldn't verify the overtime rules for the Super Bowl because the rest of the world was doing it. And I think it just surged. And I'm guessing it was probably all the Swifties who didn't. The Swifties plus
don't fucking put me in with the Swiftie. Actually, the Swifties I don't mind.
Yeah, I was on it too, man. Because like I said, the fact that the San Fran 49ers, they received first, and then kicked the field goal, and like I said, the way the fans went crazy, it was like a wrap, and I was just like,
you not know who you're playing against?
Yeah, dude,
what is going on? Like, why are y'all spilling drinks everywhere? So like I said, it was fun to kind of see them get their heart ripped out, but definitely a great experience for the Super Bowl, man. And next year, and it'll be in New Orleans, which will probably be
another epic place.
Yeah, another epic place.
I mean, we were talking as soon as they announced, or as soon as they've announced Vegas. I think it's not like it was a surprise that it was going to be Vegas at the start of the season. But for us, when we weren't future pacing where it was, when we saw it was in Vegas, we're like, oh, we
started Airbnb,
and it was like, oh, we didn't jump on it, and then we just kept on prolonging. And
don't get us wrong, we had no plans on actually being at the game.
Yeah.
Our plan was just to have an Airbnb and be in Vegas and just create content. That we have no illusions in our brain that we're spending 10 grand
60 grand for the three of us to go to a Super Bowl game.
Right. And that was the crazy part, because I'm with you guys. When I found I was going to be in Vegas, I was calling my concierge at MGM, like, yo, are the hotels available? And it took 3 months before it became available. And then one night I was up playing Call of Duty or something. It was 4 a.m. I was like, let me see if these hotels, and they just came out. So I was able to lock in my hotel price for extremely cheap. And I was just going out to the party. I was going to bring a boatload of friends. We go out there and just do Vegas. Had no plan on doing any content or anything like that. But then things kind of grow. Then you want to cover it? You want to go? I'm like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah.
It was a great experience, man. Definitely. I'm out there.
I think the NFL needs to do something because it's such a celebrity fest. Tickets are just wildly out of control. Take a section in every Super Bowl, maybe 2 sections, and give a raffle to the ticket holders of each of those teams, and reduce the prices by 50% or something like that.
Well, AJ,
you can actually bring in.
They have that
couple.
You can enter into. You can enter into a draw. I don't know how many tickets there are.
If you're a season ticket holder,
you don't even have to be season ticket holders. You can every year you can go on NFL.com at the start of the year, and you can enter to get drawn to get tickets at face value. So that's essentially you're entering a draw to win 20 or 10 grand, pretty much, right? What you're saying though is a whole section, so that's more than they probably do that for 1,000 tickets, right? But you're saying I don't know, 20,000 tickets maybe, but it's just it is crazy. And while we're on this, because we like to kind of get a little off track, the thing I hate about it is the ticket websites. Okay, I get it. This guy paid $8 grand for his ticket. Why the hell is there $2,000 in fees?
Right.
Why the hell should the fees cost more? It should be one processing fee. It should be like a cut rate of $15 per transaction on these websites. Instead, they price gouge. So the more that people, and the only reason people increase their tickets so much is so that they make money, so they don't get absolutely fucking bent over by the fees. So it's actually it goes away from the people that actually are fans that want to go to games. And then even when you have season tickets, it screws you over also.
Right. You get priced
And
out. You get priced out.
You get and that charge is like from 1990 when they had actual physical tickets. They just never removed that price and keeps like
they increase
we're talking about sending. I know we're talking about sending a digital thing.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but there's a process fee. Bullshit. There's someone sitting back there manually sending all these things. Like this is an automated service.
Exactly. Cut fee. It should just be a straight fee.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But I'll tell this, like, I don't want to hear anything about the U.S. economy struggling because there was not an empty seat in the building. Like I saw some people, they had like kids with them. I was like,
what are you doing?
You know what I'm saying? You got kids. I'm like, there's no kid prices. You know what I'm saying? So you bring your 8-year-old to the Super Bowl, that's $7,000 for that seat. I'm like,
that's $1,000 for every year that he's been alive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you got it, you got it. But even if I had it, nah, my kids got to stay home.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? You're staying home. Dad's gonna send you. Dad'll FaceTime you when we score, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you pick me up in the Uber or something like that. But nah, you're not gonna go to the game. So.
Before we hit into some of the topics here, Anth, I just want to give Cowboy Reg a shout out for a $4.99 super chat. It says we had trouble with the YouTube TV stream. We had to switch to Nickelodeon to get HD. No joke. They explained all the rules of OT in detail. Looks like we were watching.
So I need Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was like Dora the Explorer? Like,
yeah, I need Patrick. I need Patrick describing me the OT rules. I was battling. I went back and I rewatched our stream, and I'm at that point where we've been doing shots, and I can hear it in my voice that I'm wasted, and I have to like skip every 10 seconds because I can't even stand my own voice.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Explorer knew the overtime rules more than 49%.
Soy Dora.
Okay, guys.
Want to know the rules?
So this is a Cowboys show, so we are going to jump into some Cowboys news. And again, we have J-Tuck on. Draft is a big thing. It's a big deal. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about free agency, and especially about the offensive free agents that the Cowboys have. We have a couple big names that are going to become free agents this year in Tony Pollard and Tyron Smith. And I just want to know, out of our free agents on offense, who are you guys thinking should be some of the guys we retain?
Thinking we should retain. I think we could let both walk. Okay. But what I think the Cowboys are going to do, I think that they'll probably move on from Tony Pollard because I doubt his price point is going to come down. And I think that Tyron Smith will return to the Dallas Cowboys, probably on another 1-year deal. I think he wants to retire a Dallas Cowboy. Now, there has been some conversations here in Kansas City how the Chiefs will actually be interested in bringing in Tyron Smith. I'm like, you can go chase your ring, man. You probably got better chances coming to Kansas City. But if I had to gauge it, I would probably say the Cowboys will walk and move on from Tony Pollard. But Tyron Smith will be back playing left tackle. And then we'll probably have a conversation about that once we get into the draft coverage.
So last year, I know I've read a little bit about Smith and what his contract kind of was last year. And it was kind of essentially like every game he played, he got $1 million.
Right.
And that, I think that's a super fair deal. I know he's getting a little long in the tooth, and he wants to be set up for his future. He wants that last big payday, and you can't fault the guy, right? And the Cowboys, I would say, kind of owe it to him a little bit. But you also can't pay these aging players where the Dallas Cowboys have done in the past. As long as it's something super team friendly in a structure where it's like, okay, if you play a game, you're essentially going to get $1 million. But if you miss a game because of injury, you're still not going to get paid. I don't even know if that's a possibility to work into a contract. But I would like to see Tyron Smith back personally. Tony Pollard, I think he's priced out of the Cowboys. We're not franchise tagging him again. He's essentially, in my mind, gone. But AJ, if you had to pick Tony Pollard, Tyron Smith, who are some of the other offensive guys? Tyler Biotish. Who are some of the other free agent guys we have? I know those are the big three that I could think of. But out of those three guys, if you had to pick one, you got Michael Gallup. I know he's not a free agent, but another guy that needs a decision on. What would you do, WJ?
Yeah, I'm Pollard's would be awesome to keep, but I think you can find someone who is at least equivalent for less, and we got to watch our cap space just so we can pick up more free agents. So I'd let TP walk, unless he wants to cut us, a home friendly deal. We can discuss that, right, Jerry? Tyron Smith, I'd love to get all offensive linemen. I want to keep the unit together, right? I've always been a big fan of Beatas. I want those 4 T's and a Z up front, and so I would keep both those guys, and especially if they want to come back, it's going to make it easier to sign them, and I know Smith might go for the 1-year deal. I'd like to try to just sign him for 2. And then have something in there where like he still ends up with the same amount of money if he hangs on for 1 year, but if he ends up retiring, he gets some cash or something like that from the following year, just to keep cap low for this year. And then as for Gallup, I mean, I'm really high on focusing on offense in this draft. So if the Cowboys are leaning the same way and looking at some wide receivers and I wouldn't even be mad in the first, second, or third round, then I mean you could let Gallup walk, but it all really depends on how much or how costly it would be to replace him. He's not bad. He shows up in games, and I do like Michael Gallup, but it's
needs to get restructured.
Now 3 years restructure would be great.
Because no fucking he has not played up to, and the fact with Gallup, like it was risky signing him to that contract after his injury, and last year was kind of in 2022 it was kind of like, okay, let's see what you got, but then this year there's to me no excuses for his production. And I mean there's an excuse, he got hurt, but it still doesn't match his pay. But I'm going to ask you here. I asked J Tuck and Alex about the top 3. You get a pick between Sean McKeon and Chuma Adoga.
Oh gosh. Oh man. I mean, both.
You have to keep one. That's the game.
I mean, McKeon.
I know who I'd go for.
I mean, McKeon and I think we yelled at Chuma more than we yelled at McKeon.
True. Chuma saw the field more. With those types of mistakes and making sure we still have a little bit of depth on the offensive line, I would keep Chuma. I think right now, like we're probably pretty flush with our tight ends, and if you're either gonna build up Scooney or we're gonna. So you're taking Chuma.
I'm taking Chuma.
All right. Well, I don't know about that, but the silver lining here is if the Cowboys do lose Tyron Smith, the Patriots give the Cowboys the perfect contingency plan before free agency. So the Patriots actually have OT Trent Brown's contract will void today without an extension from the team, setting him up to be a free agent March 13th. The team will carry $2 million in cap. But what this writer on the Landry Hat is saying, shout out to the Landry Hat, is if the Cowboys do move on from Tyron Smith, the Cowboys could probably go and get a guy like Trent Brown. J-Tuck, what do you think about that? Would you agree with that sentiment, or you're not digging it?
Yeah, honestly, I would go get another veteran just to have a veteran leader, because if you move on from Tyron Smith, right, and let's say, for instance, you don't go get a Trent Brown, then you're either leading on a draft pick because for some reason they don't believe they're picking Tyler Smith can play left tackle. So I guess because they mark him as a left guard, which I think would probably be the easiest fix. So then you're probably leaning like on Austin Richards, which he's kind of unproven, Matt Valesco, Josh Ball, or a draft pick, which we'll talk about here shortly. So you definitely want to get a veteran guy who's a quality veteran guy, not a Chuma Udoga, right? And Trent Brown can definitely kind of fill that void. So yeah, that would be a definite guy that I would bring in. But knowing the Cowboys, like I know the Cowboys, they're probably going to bring Tyron Smith back for another 1-year deal. And have him in Dallas,
which isn't a bad, like that's not a bad choice in my mind. Like I wanted Smith back last year, I did, but I wanted the Cowboys to draft some offensive line help. Like I wanted a tackle or a guard in the first round. I really did. That's what I wanted them to. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then So because we all know Tyron's in history with injuries, he can't really be depended on at this point. It's like, okay, if you have him next year and he can play 10 games and the postseason, that's a win. Like that is a giant win. But AJ, is that something we actually want to go into a season with? Like, is that a good game plan?
Bringing in Trent Brown.
No, well, bringing in Trent Brown would be a good backup plan. But I mean, like going into the season as your only hope at left tackle is Tyron Smith.
Oh, no. I mean, look, I think a lot of people are talking about getting an offensive line as well, alignment as well. And I think you got to look for the future. As much as I want to win this year, I want to make it to that Lombardi game. But it's got to be the right person in draft. If it's not, like, you could always go out and if we're able to keep Tyron Smith around, or even I like, you got me thinking about Trent Brown. That's why I was a little put off by the question. Someone like him would be great too. Obviously, that's going to come with a certain price, and so that's got to be factored in. But finding someone who is maybe has like a what Chuma Idoga was supposed to be, essentially. That's hard to find, right? But I am certainly nervous. I was nervous last year with the line that we had. We have a great first line, and then we don't really know who is tackle when it comes down to it. If someone gets injured, right?
So well, that's what you're talking.
Thank goodness.
You're talking swing tackle. Like you want a true swing tackle that can hop in for Terrence Steele, hop in for Tyron Smith. And I mean, obviously not be as good as the starter, but he's not a liability. Where when we seen Chuma get in there, he was a liability. And anyone that says he wasn't is crazy. So I know J Tuck brought up Awesome Richards. Does he take steps, you think, in this training camp? Do they look at him as the answer, or is left tackle in the first round a possibility?
I mean, you can look at Awesome Richards as, a possible plug and play, but I think there's a cluster, right? Because you have him, you have, like I said, Matt Walesko, kind of the guy he drafted as well. Then you got some undrafted guys, my guy from Kansas and Earl Bostic as well. So you have some guys, but not that guy that I can really definitively say he's ready to play, right? I think these are more projected players for more the future. And this was my biggest frustration of last year's draft class. Like, we all heard the audio of Will McClay talking about Matthew Bergeron, the tackle who I think he went to Atlanta out of Syracuse. Like, that was going to be the pick. And they were having a conversation about Mozzie. So it was between Matthew Bergeron, the left tackle, or Mozzie Smith. Okay, you went with Mozzie Smith. Okay, cool. But how do you neglect the left tackle in the offensive line all the way until the 5th round? Like, how did it come from a first round priority to a day 3 pick? And that's what I really don't understand about last year's class. So this is what I'm trying to preach to the Cowboys community. I think they rerun their mistake that they made last year back. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of quality left tackles that you could get first round that can fill that void to do what you were trying to do last year, which we'll talk about here in a second. So, for Awesome Richards, the Matt Waleskos, Josh Balls, I'm kind of just, I am trying to load the clip and get the best players possible. And that's my one thing when it comes to Tyron Smith. I don't want you to be a momentum stopper, right? So if we get a young, pick at 24 and you say, hey, this guy is ready, I don't care about Tyron Smith's contract, bro. Like, if this guy and this kid is very ready to go out the gate, he might need to play over Tyron, and maybe Tyron becomes that swing guy you can stash later in case of injury and kind of move him around. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think the offensive line and getting that addressed, you also mentioned Tyler Biotish. I think they're going to probably go with what's his name, Brock Hoffman at center if we move on from Tyler B. So you kind of got 2 holes, center and your left tackle,
right,
which are the 2 most important positions of your offensive line that the Cowboys are going to have to fill that void. So
I like that you said have Smith as our swing tackle, but could we just put him in instead of Steele?
I mean, that's the conversation piece, because I think a lot of people are talking about, Terrence Steele, how he kind of regressed last year after he got his moolah. So it's going to be interesting. But for me personally, if it's me, I'm putting on my Trill McClay, Will McClay hat, right? Tyler Smith, you play well at left guard, cool, bro, but you're going to play left tackle. And then I'm taking TJ Bass and we're plugging him at left guard. and we're getting right back to business. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of going with the new youth movement and rebuilding my offensive line. And I might go get a JPJ, a center out of Oregon, who was a phenomenal first round talent at center. Okay, and then we're back to business. So that's how I would do it personally. But for some reason, the Cowboys think that Tyler Smith is just a left guard. And so now we got to go and find a left tackle, which is going to be not as easy to do. So we'll see.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it seems like you kind of have I mean, we all thought once we figured out who the hell he was, because when we were live and watched Tyler Smith get drafted, I had no clue who he was. I'll be honest. Ad was filming me, and I was like, who?
No, it's Tyler Smith.
And then I was like,
okay.
But then I cheered and jumped. I cheered and basically belly flopped into a bunch of other Cowboys fans. But when the draft happened, or when the pick happened, I kind of thought he was gonna be other T. Smith's replacement. And it doesn't seem to be that way. They put him at guard and he's played pretty well, but it's like, I would rather him just be a fill-in for guard until he was supposed to be that starting left tackle.
Yeah, well, I actually sent the tweet. What was that 2021 draft, 2022 draft? Whenever we drafted Tyler Smith, during that process, I was like, replace Tyron Smith with Tyler Smith, pet cat out of Tulsa, because I like this kid's upside, right? But when it comes to Tyler Smith, he was extremely young and he was a project, right? So I think for me, that was kind of for the first round, but he had tremendous upside, but he was very raw, right? But of course, he kind of cleaned it up. But what I was trying to say last year, his rookie years last year, right? He was never getting any reps at left tackle at all at camp. I'm just like, so where's the reps coming from, right? And you think about, we already had a left guard. And so I feel like what happened is the Cowboys kind of pushed Tyler Smith out the left tackle when the injury happened, and he kind of stayed afloat. He thrived at it. So it's like, okay, your left tackle that you drafted in the first round is working at left tackle. Keep him at left tackle.
Yeah, keep him there. And then we're not even talking about Tyron Smith now. We have our guy, and now we're drafting a guard. Or last year we draft Osiris Torrance. There was things we could have done to then prevent the conversation we're having now. But I got a question, or Ad, you want to hit chat? Yeah. You want to hit chat? Okay, hit chat. Let's get chat in there. I know Ad's the people's champ. He watches chat, and I could see when we're not hitting chat up. He's like glancing at me. I see you side-eyeing me. Well, I see you side-eyeing me.
No. The flow's good.
Let's get some chat.
I would have interrupted earlier because there's been a couple good chat questions going on. And look, we got a celebrity on here. Everybody wants to ask J-Tuck questions, so give the chat some flowers. Eric Castillo says he was an all-pro as guard, and y'all want to move him?
Yeah, well, because he could be an all-pro at tackle.
I mean, he could be the all-pro at tackle. And that's the thing. It's like you don't want to lock him into a position. I mean, he had a phenomenal rookie season at left tackle, right? So it's about the puzzle pieces that works the best for the Cowboys, because if you keep Tyler Smith at left guard, then you have a phenomenal undrafted guy in TJ Bass just sitting holding the clipboard. So if you want to simplify things from the Cowboys standpoint, you have a guy that can play left guard and can also play left tackle. Kick him out to play left tackle, and we saw what TJ Bass is able to do. You could plug him in the left guard, and then you can easily fill the holes, right? You can easily kind of fill the holes if something was to happen. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I get he was an all-pro left guard. It's the same thing with Deron Bland. It's like Deron Bland's a phenomenal slot, but he can also play the outside. Like, you don't have to lock him in at this position for the future. You just kind of think how your roster unfolds.
You could say that for CeeDee Lamb in his first couple seasons. Was an awesome slot, slot receiver. But I want to see CD out wide, right? So you could say that about a lot of players. They were very good at this one position, but they will be very good and more beneficial at this position.
Yeah.
Right. And if I'm Tyler Smith's agent, I'm saying you're going back to left tackle.
Right. I want to get paid. I want to get paid.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's where I think how it's all going to shape up with if they go out and get either a guard or a tackle in free agency, and then do they get a guard or a tackle in the draft? If either one of those two things happen, or maybe we get a handful of dudes, that'll kind of really dictate how Tyler Smith can be used.
Right.
I totally agree, though, and for his own benefit, try to get out to tackle for sure. I also hear what Eric Castillo is saying about him being so good and dominant in the guard position, but it's just going to be like, okay, where is the strengths after all is said and done, after the smoke is cleared? Where is the strength? And then, God forbid, either Smith, if Smith gets injured, if left or right tackle gets injured, are we able to move Tyler Smith into that position, right?
Right. So it's like, would you rather have the combination of Matt Go at left tackle?
No.
Stop.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
So I'm saying, so Matt Go at left tackle and your all-pro left guard in Tyler Smith, or would you rather have Tyler Smith at left tackle and then you have TJ Bass at left guard? So it's working the best 5 combination.
Bass looked good last year. He did.
Yeah.
There wasn't much fall off when Bass got in there at guard. There really wasn't. There wasn't too much fall off. But we're kind of talking about
Wingspan Willetsko.
Wingspan Willetsko. Like, dude, go play basketball, man. Like, football, you're not cut out for football. I get it. You're a little short to be a center in the NBA, but like, go play in Europe. So I gotta ask J-Tuck something here, because it's been and it's gonna lead into the next article I got up. But if you could summarize the Cowboys offseason, and it's only been a month and a bit, like it's just over a month. But if in one word, how could you summarize the Cowboys offseason to date?
Chaos.
Yes, that's my exact feeling. Chaos.
It's been pure chaos, right? And it's just like, I've been trying to tell Cowboys fans, we haven't got started yet. Like, we just got some traces of the Dak contract, so we got to deal with that. We got to deal with the CeeDee Lamb stuff. We got the draft. Like, we haven't even got started, and here we are on February 21st, and it's been complete chaos from the parent conversations on Facebook to, all the conversations with the DeMarcus Lawrence out there saying he was tired. It's just been nonstop chaos. And the thing is, Cowboys fans, they're fed up. So I keep telling content creators specifically, this is going to be your toughest season making content, because Cowboys fans don't want to hear anything we got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bring it, baby. Flex it, boys.
Like, you can put out a prospect. I don't like him. He sucks. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're still going to, it's like, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So then you had Dan Quinn, how that whole situation, then Mike Zimmer, which we'll probably talk about. So it's been kind of just chaotic, and we really haven't got started. So hold on tight, Cowboys Nation.
Well, this next player has actually been one of the driving forces of the offseason in my mind. And every story besides the ones you mentioned have kind of revolved around Micah Parsons, whether it be him absolutely balling out at a basketball game, not going on Skip Bayless's show, going on Stephen A. Smith's show, yada, 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 any of that, I'll fill all the noise. What I also want to know with you guys, this is a question for all of you guys, is, and it's going to dive into what I want to talk about, but the main thing for me is Micah coming out saying he talked to Jerry Jones about who he wants, what he wants to see. And my main question is, should players have a say or have a voice when it comes to what the front office and the coaching personnel do? Like, what do you guys feel about this?
I'll say it. Micah is just the one, when the Cowboys are going on, he's the most talked about person right now because he's doing a lot of extra interest stuff. I know everyone rips into him about his podcast and the fact that he hasn't been showing up the second half of the season. So he's an easy target. I think a lot of players weigh in with the coaches. He's just the one that's more publicized with it. And you just can't bitch about it. I mean, him complaining about people trying to get his autograph. Yeah, you're Micah Parsons. And then you can't, the next post you're posting about you're the number one jersey in the world. Like, so I think it's just that level of celebrity that he's experiencing. And just because he's a Cowboy and it's Micah Parsons, where it's more elevated. I think all players are going to talk to their coaches about who they think they should get, whether or not, as J-Tuck said, Trill McClay or the coaches listen to Micah Parsons is another thing. But he's collecting headlines for the Cowboys, and Jared loves that. As he's salting his thing, he's just like, yeah, Micah, just keep on putting those Cowboys
salting his protein
shake. Oh
shake.
yeah. So I'm, players are going to talk about it, whether or not the team actually listens to it.
Well, should the team? That's my question. Should the team listen to the players?
I mean, you want to hear. I mean, I think they're going to take it for what it is. I don't think any player is going to persuade them
one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't think so.
J-Tuck or AJ?
Yeah. So
go ahead, J-Tuck.
Go ahead, AJ. You got it.
Yeah, real quick is, you listen to them for sure, but God help that your plan doesn't rely on your players' opinions, right? um, Even so, like when you're making a draft pick, you're hoping that your OC coach wants all offensive players every single round, and you're hoping your defensive coach wants all defensive players every single round, right? Then you have to make the decision. So I think listening is fine, and it also keeps people happy. But I don't know that you make decisions based off of what your players want and rank that higher than like other metrics, right? I mean, there's got to be something to it. They're smart enough, played football for a long time, probably know what they would like, but you're making decisions for a team, not just a position.
How funny would it be if Micah was like, hear me out. I think we go out there and we get a center first round.
Yeah.
Just totally something out of like completely left field. Like, cause you're right. Everyone's going to look out for their bias to themselves, right? Like who could we draft to make me better at my job? Like it's no different with all of us in our own personal jobs. Of course we want our next hire to make my job easier, right? But at the end of the day, that's not how businesses work. J-Tuck, thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I feel like what you were saying earlier. I feel like Micah is just a target right now because he's accessible. So you guys can see that back there, right? That's an autograph Micah Parsons Pro Bowl rookie jersey, right?
Yep.
I didn't ask Micah Parsons for that. Like, I don't ask players for autographs. I posted that I got the jersey on Instagram. He reached out to me, and this is before I even kind of, he reached out to me to sign it. So, Micah.
Bullshit. What airport were you at?
Airport. No, I was outside his house, man. I was in the bushes, man. But yeah, what I'm saying. So when people saw that online, they're like, "Oh, Micah Parsons putting these people like those are resellers. Like those are like people who are just like that's my question. Like how they get the drop on where Micah's going to be in the air. So it wasn't like fans, because if I can say this about Micah because I've seen it. If there's any Cowboys player that is open to signing autographs for fans, it's him. Now, there's some other players I ain't gonna mention. Don't ask, don't do nothing. So they're gonna walk right past you.
Brandon Aubrey.
I don't know, but I haven't seen. Well, when I saw Butter Aubrey at camp, he wasn't Butter Aubrey. He was
no. We saw him too. We were at the same. I think we were at the same day. We saw him there. Yeah.
It was bad.
He looked like he'd seen a ghost. He looked like he'd seen a ghost all day.
Yeah, and people were like,
I remember
bad in camp. I was like, bro, he was horrible in camp. Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened. So yeah, but he wasn't Butter.
So sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
J-Tuck, we walked away from that being like, well, I guess we got to go find a kicker still.
Yeah. that was my content because people were like, I was like the kicking competition because it was him and Tristan, whatever.
Viscano.
Yeah, they were both just shanking wide left and wide. And then they got rid of Tristan and just gave it to Aubrey. I'm like, all right. And then, of course, remember, he didn't kick all preseason. So we didn't even see what he could do until the regular season kind of came. But luckily it worked out. But, I feel like the Cowboys should take in consideration what the players are saying. Will they do it? Probably absolutely not, because we all remember the OBJ hype train and how that worked out. They said nada, right? But I think sometimes it's from a player standpoint, like it puts faith in your organization. It's like, okay, you ask me, what do I need to be these more successful, right? And I say, hey, I need a defensive tackle. I need some bigger linebacker. Like this is what I think that I need to go to that next level. Well, if you don't get it, then it's just like, all right, bro, then why'd you even ask me? So it's like if someone said, what type of equipment that you need to be, to excel your podcast. I say, I need a new microphone and I need a mixing board, but you don't get it. Just like,
yeah.
What kind of sandwich you want? I'd like a turkey with some tomato and some bacon, and then they you gave me a tuna. You gave me a tuna sandwich.
Like I didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? So I do like the input, because I think the most important person that needs to have the input, it needs to be Ford. I think Ford needs to say, bro, I'm not James Washington. Like, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that should be a conversation that should definitely be taken consideration. So I don't mind it. I know it's a new era. A lot of people don't like, players doing anything besides eating protein shakes and doing push-ups, but I'm not too bothered by Micah, because if there's anyone I know puts in the work and that's going to show up on game day, it's going to be Micah Parsons. There's some other players, we'll say Kelvin Joseph, right? Like he was rapping and tapping, but he wasn't performing on the field. Like this is a 3-time All-Pro, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not too concerned, but I really wish the Cowboys would take into consideration. But what the players have to understand, you're talking to the wrong person. You're talking to Jerry. You gotta
Yeah.
talk to Steven. That's the decision maker. Right? You're talking to the mascot. Go talk to the real owner and Stephen Jones. And Stephen Jones ain't trying to hear none of that.
So it's funny that you said that because I posted something about Micah, and because I post shit, I troll a little bit. Like I do it on purpose because what's gonna get the most views or most clicks or most eyes? It's a controversial statement that has two sides. A side that you're either going to be really for or really against, right? And I completely agree. Athletes need to have their lives. They need to do anything they want to do. I just don't give a fuck about it. Like, I don't care. I don't care about Micah Parsons' podcast. I don't care about Micah Parsons playing in a basketball game. I don't care if Micah Parsons goes bowling. I don't care if he takes up canoeing, right? I don't care about that shit. Of course, he's going to go do this stuff, but it's like when I then see it on ESPN that Micah Parsons scored 37 points in a celebrity basketball game, my opinion is I just don't give a fuck. Like, I honestly don't care. What I would have rather had is Micah Parsons had one tackle or one sack or
I
one
personally
anything.
loved it. I loved it. I love Micah, and honestly, like,
oh, I love it. I like it's sweet that he did it. I just don't care. Like, and go do
right.
it. Go do it all
here's
you
the
want.
thing, and I said this on Twitter today. Think about this, right? If we look at the landscape of Cowboys fans, more Cowboys fans are pissed off at Micah Parsons than they are at our second round pick in Sam Williams, who hasn't done anything. He's a special teams guy. He been caught with a vape and guns and jumping off sides and all. But but the Micah is the focus, right? Everyone's mad at Micah for doing the right things. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Totally.
I mean, Dak wins Walter Mann Payton the Year Award. People are like, oh, he should be focusing on winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're never going to be happy with what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a life lesson that we have to learn. Even as a content creator, I learned that from watching Micah in that All-Star game. It's like, you know what? People are going to be pissed off at you. Like, as a content creator, you can give back. We can do giveaways. We can sacrifice time from our families and travels and cover the team in depth. But if you say one thing that these people don't like, it's F you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Do what makes you happy. And I'm seeing that from Micah Parsons. I learned that lesson because, like, people are going to be mad at you regardless of what you do, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I do like that take.
People get mad at Dak for not saying enough. Dak needs to speak up. Dak needs to be more outspoken. So Dak don't say nothing. Now it's Micah talks too much. It's like, what's the in between? So
the thing with what's going on with Micah Parsons right now as well, with everybody kind of either you care or you don't care. The specific thing is that we're all trying to find a reason why we didn't go further in the playoffs. So
playoffs,
we go.
Playoffs.
Yeah. So all of a sudden it's like, you were trying to find these things. We're trying to create this chaos and turmoil with family members. Like, how many times have you been
me and Adam have fought physically 16 times since the game. He looks at me funny. I'm like, this is for Dak Prescott, and I sucker punch him.
You're 8-8. It's an even split right
it's
now.
split
very
right now.
split down the middle.
That next one, that 17th battle, is gonna be a crazy one.
Big time. But yeah, I mean,
you're spot on.
It is what it is. We're in a new kind of era of content creation where I'd rather him be in his bedroom doing a podcast than being on Skip Bayless's show during season.
And we told him not to do Skip. Like, when he announced he was going to do Skip show, there was an outrage. Like, I posted about it. All the Cowboys fans were like, don't do it. It's not worth it. You see what he said about Dak, right? You should just do your own thing. And he does his own thing. It's just like, just was like, yeah. And it's like, I agree. I think Cowboys fans, after that Green Bay loss, we were trying to find what the hell happened. So now it's like, it's Dan Quinn's fault. Dan Quinn was the worst coordinator in Cowboys history. It's Micah and the stupid podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's CeeDee Lamb and his drops. It's Dak Prescott. It's just we're just trying to grasp for straws to find out what happened. And it's coming.
Jerry's still alive.
Jerry's still alive.
Yeah, it was the Jimmy curse. We got rid of the Jimmy curse. So it's like, it's just one of those things we're finding for answers. Versus just saying, hey, Green Bay was the better team. They punched us in the mouth there.
They smacked us out. But going into this with Micah or AJ, what do you got? You got something?
I just wanted to, first of all,
crack me if you got them, son. Get one in you, kid. Hey, J-Tuck, it's all good. You can twist them if you missed them.
Drink Prime, man.
Drink Prime. Get those electrolytes in ya.
Drink Prime.
Oh, of course, J-Tuck's fucking sponsored by Prime as well.
I'm trying. So I spoke to Logan out there in Vegas, and he was like, he like, oh yeah, man, what's up? He didn't listen.
He didn't get you. He didn't get
But
you
yeah,
next
he
time.
did. But I gave him my pitch, man. So.
Wait,
You're
Jay,
on
what
the
you got?
Look, a lot of my kind of criticism of Micah Parsons, which I'm fine with admitting when maybe I was looking at things wrong, is I always I gotta really catch myself sometimes and be like, I'm always comparing to the past, and then it's like, well, where's the fair cutoff of how back we go when we're comparing what an athlete should do, or what I think an athlete should do, even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even the scenery has changed with social media. This is part of humanity now, and so it's not really fair to be like, well, play like Michael Jordan never had a
Right.
podcast, or but I think another so that's just where I have to kind of start correcting myself, and I think that Micah just says things very roughly online and very unfiltered, and that's what happened with specifically. I'm referencing the airport comment. Those people are those types of people who perhaps they do just get autographs and then go sign them. That's bullshit, right? But the way that it seemed when he put out his original post was like, these Cowboys fans just nagging me, give me space, right? And then I saw him follow up and be like, no, these are the types of people who just get autographed. We all know they all exist, right?
Right.
And so, okay, well that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, that would be annoying too, right? But it didn't come off that way at first, and by then it's too late. The storm's been fucking it's already set.
I think Micah should have just assaulted those guys.
Well, that's the problem with social media, right? And especially Twitter, right? Because it's easy to take things out of context. So, 2 days later, we saw the situation that happened with Breece Hall, where a guy was doing the same thing with Breece Hall, and he was trying to fight Breece Hall for not signing. And Breece Hall's like, "This is not a fan. This is a guy who's trying to fight me to sign something so he can resell it." And so I posted, I was like, so when Micah said it, I'm saying it was, criticism, but when Breece Hall posted it, it was harassment. And and that's the hard part with Cowboys, not just Cowboys fans, it's professional athletes. They want to be like us, they want to drink beers and have fun. I mean, you guys went to the Dez tailgate, you saw how free Dez is, but there are people who take advantage of it. So sometimes you got to keep your guard up. You can't, because it's a difficult situation to kind of be in. So, like I said, Micah's from PA. He's going to be a straight shooter. It's going to be interesting to watch because he is one of the players who is kind of bigger than the Cowboys. And so if they start to play these little smear campaigns with Micah, when it comes to contract negotiations, sit back because we're gonna have all the content that we need.
God, man, we have so as far as crack him if you got him. As far as contract situations go, I'm nervous for all that. But as far as the Micah thing and talking to Jerry, this article, 4 NFL draft picks that Micah Parsons wish list for the Dallas Cowboys defense. So we know Micah was talking about wanting a big nasty defensive interior, and then he wanted a downhill linebacker, right? So we got 4. We got fansided.com. They got 4 NFL draft picks. And J-Tuck, this is going to be a little bit of a quiz for you because I think I could maybe as the linebacking crew, the linebacking pool's not huge. I think we could maybe guess one. And I have a feeling I might know a tackle that they're looking at, but I'm going to go towards you. And I know AJ's got the tackle probably in mind also. Ad doesn't have a clue right now, but just kidding.
I don't actually.
J-Tuck, if you had to pick, I imagine it's 2 linebackers, 2 tackles is what they're talking about.
Okay, so I'm trying to guess the ones that they picked. Or
Fansided's 4 NFL draft picks that fit Micah Parsons' wish list. And as far as Micah's Stephen A. Smith interview, it's a nasty tackle, a 330 dog, and a downhill linebacker is kind of what he wished for. Or that's how I took it when I watched the interview.
Okay, fun. So I think the very first one I would probably guess is T'Vondre Sweat.
That's my guy. That's the one. Yep, that's the guy. Right there.
You see what he's doing, J-Tuck? He's letting you answer, and then he's going, yep,
no,
J-Tuck, that's the guy I want too.
That's AJ. That's AJ's guy. That's the one AJ brought up because the guy's a fucking the guy's a monster.
I love him. And then let's see what they. trying to think if I'm an article writer, would I name 2 Texas people? Probably not. So I'm gonna go with Jerzon Newton.
That's
out
my
of-
guy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Okay, give us. I have no idea who that is. Give us backstory on that guy.
Yeah, so Jerzon Newton, he's not your big nasty like nose tackle. He's more of a 3-tech guy, but he's chaos. He's chaos in the interior. He's a guy that you can probably move around a little bit. Plays a lot in the backfield, high motor guy. So I would say probably go with Newton and Tavondre Sweat. If not, I would probably say Byron Murphy. Like I said, I don't think they're gonna include 2 Texas people in the same article. I'm curious to see who they pick for Micah though.
Okay, let's check it out. Are you guys nervous a little bit?
I'm not.
Is this only draft picks or
Yeah, just
free
draft,
agents?
not free
Oh,
agents, just draft
Okay,
picks.
okay.
So here we go. Hey, there's us.
Hey, there's us.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, we are also a podcast of the Landry Hat. I swear I didn't know that when I picked this article, guys.
Hey,
Did they
hey,
answer
let's
someone
just
here?
let's just take an hour and a half to play this episode.
Yeah, okay,
and,
now we're gonna watch us watch our podcast. There it is. Hey, J Tuck,
Byron Murphy. okay.
Byron Murphy. So do you think they're gonna go Sweat now? Ooh, shit, son.
No,
So with Byron Murphy, is he worth the first round pick? You figure? And he'll be there. I think he'll be there at 24.
He'll
Would
be
you
there.
would you go back to back drafts with a tackle first round?
Yeah, I absolutely would. Me personally, I'm looking at last year's class. I'm pulling out the Men in Black flasher and act like it just didn't even happen. And we're going with the best player. Well, my linebacker right there.
I know. I just saw it too. I saw it too.
Yeah.
Easy scrolling.
I didn't mean to.
Holy
I
fudge!
got that itchy finger, son.
Gosh, that
I got that itchy finger, son.
AJ would never do that if he was sitting in the Millennium
I'm
Falcon
sorry.
with us right now.
My producing stripes are gone. But you think so? You're on the. I get the defensive tackle, the Byron Murphy pick, because if he's the best player, I don't care if it's you took Mozzie last year. If Byron
Right.
Murphy's sitting there and he's the best player at that point,
Right.
pull the damn trigger.
Yeah.
Pull the
yeah,
damn
I agree.
trigger.
I'm team BPA.
Same.
I'm not trying to do another futuristic draft where this guy's going to take to develop. I need instant impact
Yeah.
this year. I'm trying to get to New Orleans, and I want my Cowboys there with me. Byron Murphy is there. I feel like Byron Murphy is 12 notches above where Mozzie Smith was as a prospect. You go and get him, and we'll figure it out later. So, I would definitely go Byron Murphy or defensive tackle. There's a few guys, right? So, yeah.
AJ,
one thing on Byron. Yeah, one thing. Well, a couple things on Byron Murphy, but real quick, he's an A gap and a B gap dude.
Mhm.
So he
1
you know,
and
he-
3.
he
Is
kinda
that
can
right?
do-
Did I say that right? He can play 1 and 3 tech. Did I do that right, Tuck? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
he's also on PFF's grade. He's like in the top 10 percentile for both pass rush and run defense. So he's got that combination, and he improved from 2022 to 2023 in his college years from 17 hurries to 36 hurries,
Mhm.
and from 1 sack to 6 sacks. So he improved his speed at getting to the quarterback while still maintaining a nice quality run defense. So,
Mhm.
and if we luck out, if that's the pick and we luck out with Mozzie Smith taking a nice leap in year 2, that's not a bad thing. That's not a terrible thing to
Well,
have.
there's the word, and me just cruising the message boards and reading all like social media with Cowboys fans. I don't know if it's copium or hopium or whatever it is, but the word is defensive tackles take a little bit to develop, going from the college game to the pro game. So exactly, maybe Mozzie's rookie season, sure, it wasn't stellar and he wasn't an instant impact type player, but if he can even get, I'd say 25 to 30% better in his second year and vie for a starting role and like challenge and make everyone around him better, and then you take Byron Murphy or say
Maybe
another
Zimmer uses them better.
yeah,
too.
or Zimmer, or they have a better game plan, then that's just like J Tuck said, Men in Black the shit out of last year's draft. Whatever happened with the draft class last year, let's forget about it. And I know we've had a lot of people
Hey,
saying
forget about it.
this is the thing that drove me nuts during the season was, well, the Cowboys drafted
2024 draft
for
class.
their sophomore year, for those players' sophomore year. And I hated when people said that, because the Cowboys were a team that were a few players away from contending for a Super Bowl. But now that we didn't win the Super Bowl, it's like, I hope that's what happened. I hope as hell
Yeah.
that
I think-
this sophomore team's good.
I think that was the case because for the Cowboys standpoint, they felt like they had the front layer, right? The offense was perfectly fine, right? They brought in Brandon Cooks. They also brought in Gilmore. So they feel like their starting core was good. They needed supplemental players. And I think that's what they did. They got a lot of these futuristic picks. Because honestly, you guys know I'm a tight end guy. I love the tight end position, but it's like I didn't feel tight end was a need in the second round. Like we
No.
had to go get a tight end, especially how Hendershot and Ferguson played, versus Tampa and kind of in the season. Like we were good there, so I feel like it was a lot of a stash for futuristic picks last year's class, but this year I need instant impact. And I feel like Byron Murphy will be more out of the box ready than Mozzie Smith will ever be. And it's not a slight on Mozzie. I was cool on Mozzie because I understood it. We needed a run stopper, but I knew it was going to take him a lot longer to develop because he was very raw even at the University of Michigan. But Byron Murphy, Newton, which will probably be gone. Devontae Sweat if he's there. Those are guys that I plugged them in week one. They're ready to go.
So, Can Fan, we all puked at the same time when Mozzie Smith was drafted, and we just rolled past. But okay, the second guy that he has, round 2, pick 56. What do you want to say, Ad?
Oh, no, I was just going to say that if anybody was wondering, it's not 1998. Ant doesn't look at message boards. He's looking at Reddit.
Yeah. Well, isn't Reddit a message board, though? A forum?
I think Reddit's like Kleenex now. It's like for tissue paper. Everyone just calls message boards Reddit now.
I love Reddit. I'm all about that Reddit action, man. Except as far as social media goes, and I don't know if you can group Reddit in social media, that is the most Facebook and Reddit. If you want to find the most toxic Cowboys fans, go on either of those. The Facebook and Reddit. You want to post anything positive and get ready to just read a bunch of idiots say a bunch of weird shit. But Facebook, Reddit.
I tried it for 2 weeks and I said, nah.
It's awful, right? It's
from
toxic.
Somebody comes from Twitter who's like toxic as well. That's toxic projects is what I call it. But on Reddit, I said, oh no, I can't. So I post on Reddit, I get the hell up out of there.
Yeah, Reddit's disgusting. What do you need?
I was gonna say zoom in on it.
Oh, zoom! You want me to do a little zoom in?
Get some zoom in action. And this is actually someone that Parsons was asking for too.
So number 2, yes, this is number 2. Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, Texas A&M. So I don't know if in this way they're going. It looks like they did a round 1 pick, a round 2 pick. So then 3 and 4. So J-Tuck, that might change some of the guys that you're thinking. So you got round 2 pick 56, Edgerrin Cooper, who
won't be there at 56.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Leroy
He's
Jenkins.
the top. Yeah. He's the top linebacker in the draft. He's he's probably going in the first round.
Yeah, I just did selfish plug. I just did a film breakdown on him today, Edgerrin Cooper, and I effing love this process.
You can say fuck, by the way.
Say it. Say it again. Say it again.
I fucking love.
There it is.
Oh. He is revved up. He is high motor. He is chaos. He is a war machine. If you want a guy to sit back and watch the film and it's going to bring you up out of your seat, it's Edgerrin Cooper. I mean, this guy is 6'2", 230, right? And he can drop in coverage. He can do a lot of those Zimmer-esque things that he's going to ask from his linebackers to do. And I agree. He's not going to be there at 56.
Not a chance.
I have to grab him at 24. And I was having this conversation on Twitter last night. Like, this is the kind of the draft. Go get what you need. Don't be cute, because the Cowboys always like to sit and be cute and see. I remember, what was it? The Micah draft, right? We were very high on Trayvon Moore, who went to the Raiders as safety. And like, oh, he almost fell to us, and the Raiders jumped us, took him, and we ended up with Kelvin Joseph. And the story.
We don't say that name, Boss Man Fat. He's blocked off. He's blocked off of this show.
Okay, yeah. He's actually a chief, But yeah, man, Edgerrin Cooper, he's pretty much my favorite linebacker in the draft. Well, yeah, it's 1A and 1B, and
you got Wilson. You got Wilson, right?
Yeah. I love Wilson. It's just the neck, the shoulders, the age, So
the size, he's that 6'4" rangy guy.
Yeah. So 1A or 1B, but I love Edgerrin Cooper. So if you're able to add, because he can do a lot of those Micah-esque things, right? Especially like he had 10 sacks last year, 5 quarterback hits. He's definitely chaos. So yeah, you add him. You can if you just stop the draft right here, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
totally.
You go get me Byron Murphy and you were to have Edgerrin Cooper slide. Okay, I'm good. You can screw off the next few picks. That would be a huge boost to this Cowboys team if you're able to pull that off.
Well, I find it weird that they have Edgerrin Cooper at 56 because in most of the stuff that I've read, he's higher than that. And I think even in PFF, which is their mock draft, which we are going to do a quick one today, I think they have him a lot higher than 56. But again, if we get him at 56, that's awesome. We're through 50% of the picks for Micah.
And it's already full mass right now.
I'm full, yeah, I'm
Like,
half chub,
it's
half chub right
crazy.
now. It's crazy.
I think well, Mike has already smoked last year's draft already.
Right? So this is do they go linebacker and defensive tackle again, or do they find an edge? Like what do we do here? What do you guys think? Because I imagine it's going to be round 3 and well, we don't have a 4th round pick, but we're going to have a round 3.
Well, I mean, someone, and we're talking about last year's draft again, like Overshown, we didn't get to see what he was capable of this year, but he was, out of everybody that we drafted last year, Overshown was one of the best, like my favorite player that we drafted, and I wanted to see what he was going to do last.
We were there live.
We were there
Seattle
live in
when
Seattle
he went
when he got
down
injured,
with the injury. We have video of Adam showing us the news, and AJ and I are both blackout drunk, and Ad shows us, and we both just grab each other like this. And just heads down.
But like, so you think about Overshown coming back in, whether or not he's going to be at full capacity, kind of coming off a season-long injury is always a little bit difficult for players. So when you kind of look at him and how he's going to scheme into that situation, it's like, yeah, draft around what you have now and then what you all absolutely need. But I agree with Tuck. Like, don't get cute.
So you think linebacker?
I mean, I haven't watched. I'm going to watch Tuck's breakdown.
We're going Wilson.
I'm going to watch
pick.
Tuck's breakdown about Cooper as soon as I'm done.
Well, we're going 3rd here. We're doing it. Little next button fan sided. You want them clicks? Oh, there he is, Tavondre.
So go double Texas.
They went double Texas.
Double T.
That's a guy, and this guy's a monster. 6'4", 360-pound monster. That is that's bigger than the doorway that's behind us over here. That is a massive human being. And
and Tuck, Alex is a big boy player. He'll if it's a size, doesn't matter if they're like a little bit less of a skilled position or a skilled player. AJ's going to take this size, and that's why he was all sweating over Sweet, right, AJ?
Look, yeah. Well, to explain it is there's that
you like big boys.
Age-old saying you just can't teach size, right? So if you do have a guy, and same with like say a 6'6", 225, 30-pound receiver or more, if you're lucky. Like that's something like you just don't know. Maybe you don't risk a 1st or 2nd round pick on size alone. But as we get into the deeper rounds, just start to be like, look, if we can get this guy to do one specific thing very well, boom, we have this option always. This because he's got these physical traits that just will dominate anyone, or at least be, able to battle anyone in the NFL. But I wouldn't want to risk that on an early pick. Absolutely not. But you get later. Size for me becomes something that's like just intriguing. And if you can luck out, and they happen to like kind of have that ability to just pick up things very quickly and learn, I mean, then that's a bonus, and you got the size.
Yeah,
I think Sweat at round 3 with guys that this draft, we're all happy right now, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're lined up, and so the 4th pick, are they going linebacker again? Are we all in the agreement that they're probably
linebacker? Then it's going to be a little interesting, but I'm trying to think of a linebacker that would be 4th
crack
round.
me if you got him, son.
Yeah, he definitely for this draft. I'll crack a bottle over my head with this. Like I'm good. I'm trying to think of a 4th or 5th round linebacker that could be available. Because Peyton will definitely be gone by then, unless they're going to just trick the system. So I'm going to go with another guy I like who could possibly be there. Will be Cedric Wilson, linebacker out of North Carolina.
Let's check it out.
Let's see if I can.
What about an edge though?
They went but so this played into Micah's wish list, which was linebackers and tackles. And so I keep forgetting we don't have a 4th round pick. We don't have, I don't think we have a 5th either.
We gave it up because our owner just went up in his office and just made a trade. And
Trey Lance, 5th round. There you go.
So round 6, Curtis Jacobs, linebacker, Penn State. You know anything about this guy from linebacker?
Yeah, I do. He's a good prospect. He has a lot of upside. Very raw though. I think he's going to be more of a futuristic pick. He wouldn't probably be able to help us much. Probably be a special teams guy. But he's from Micah's alumni in Penn State. So I just think that 6th round guy, and So, um,
That's all
there's
you're
a-
hoping. You hope he makes the special teams.
He gets
Realistically,
special teams. I mean, we got second round picks who are special teamers, and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
And
Yep.
gunners. You know, our defensive end is a gunner, so
which is I always found that weird that he was gunning. I thought that
it
that
threw
was
me
weird.
off for the first time. Like, it really threw me off the first time I saw it. I'm like, was that Sam Williams out there playing? I was like, what the hell?
And you know what?
Is that Sam Williams getting another penalty?
But you know what?
Another flag.
Then he
But
was
you-
getting penalties doing that, right?
You know what though? Like when he was down there and busting ass, but it was like the special teams penalties is what threw me off. Like if he could have just well,
Is that Sam Williams hitting the kicker?
well the kicker no, but the kicker one he did everything perfect. He did everything perfect to block a punt, except he went up like this, like he was playing fucking volleyball, and he's trying to stop a spike. You go this way. You don't go this way. You go this way.
Is that Sam Williams who can't say anything about Canada?
You go, yeah, oh yeah. I asked Sam Williams in person. I was like, hey, yo, bro, like, what do you think about Canada? And it's like I asked him to explain like physics, like something physics to him, and he just looked at me like, I don't know anything about it.
He needs a podcast. He needs to sit his ass at home.
I'd love it.
it.
So there we
You're
go.
not a Sam Williams guy. Tuck. Okay, hey.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's hear it. You can, hey man, you're allowed to like. We get it. You're in the spotlight. You're allowed to talk bad about a player. You're allowed to.
Well, here's the thing, right?
We're just gonna post it.
What what Cowboys fans, what we're all doing, we're putting all the guns and the drugs in back of Dan Quinn's trunk. So that's a Dan Quinn pick. That was Sam Williams was Dan Quinn's pick. So I'm
Yep.
putting that on him, right? But I just feel like the hard part with some of us who cover the draft so in depth, I know what was available in that second round and the opportunities that were there. The same thing with the Kelvin Joseph situation. So it's like when you know what was available, you kind of feel like, nah. And I even said that last year with Luke Schoonmaker. It's just like, bro, there's no chance in hell. I don't give a damn. Will McClay, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, that you can tell me that Luke Schoonmaker was the top player on your draft board when we got to that pick. Like, there's
Wasn't
no way.
Osiris Torrance was still available at that time.
He was still there. You know what I'm saying? He was still there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if you want a tight end so bad, even though the Bills jumped us for Dalton Kincaid, you could have looped back in and went and got Sam Laporta, who was my favorite
Oh my, yeah.
in last year's class. So it's just like, what are we really doing? So when it comes to Sam Williams, I made a video. I saw Dan Quinn's eyes light up when he was at his pro day. I was like, we're definitely going to take this kid. But if you look at what was available, there was so many different opportunities. And a lot of people didn't understand, like Sam Williams has had red flags all the way since high school.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, you know, so it's one of those things.
You're gonna say stuff, and I'm not gonna sit here quiet because AJ and I, we weren't sold on tight end. We weren't sold on Schoonmaker. We didn't hate the idea of drafting a tight end, but like you said, there was tight ends that we wanted. Like there was tight ends we wanted, and Schoonmaker, we felt like we could have got him in the third. Like I feel like the Cowboys, granted we wouldn't have got overshown, but I feel like there was players in the second and the first that we could have taken that would have been better off. And it's easy to say that now, but at the time, we weren't overly optimistic about Schoonmaker, the player, but we didn't hate the pick itself because I honestly wasn't sold on Ferguson, and I'm glad to be wrong by that. Ferguson, to me, that guy's a fucking dog.
Hey,
He's
who was sold on Ferguson?
Ad was fully on the Ferguson train, and Hendershot. You were happy about the duo. I wasn't. After watching Ferguson, now I'm like, man, we got our tight end for the next X amount of years. Pay this guy. His attitude alone, like the way he plays football, he reminds me of like a Zeke. He reminds me of like who are some other dogs that we've had? It's been so long since we've actually had some dog. A Dez Bryant, like guys that just play the game. How if I was a gifted athlete and 6'4" and skinny, I would play the game that way, right? So I'm so glad I was wrong about Ferguson, but I didn't hate the Schoonmaker pick as much as I hate it now at the time.
Well, here's the scary part. I'll tell Cowboys fans, our best tight end on our roster hasn't even played yet. And if he comes back healthy, he's going to be scary.
Payne?
Stevens.
Yeah.
Stevens. That's the guy that got hurt at camp when we were there.
Yeah.
He was the best player the 3 days we were there.
Yeah.
He's a monster. Like that was a huge blow. And that's what I was saying. If John Stevens doesn't get hurt, I don't know if Luke Schoonmaker, we even see him because it was clear night and day. Like he had a much better camp than even Jake Ferguson. I like Jake Ferguson, right? But it's just like I feel like you could have had Ferg, you could have had Stevens, could have sprinkled in Hendershot, have McKean, it would have been perfectly fine, right? So I just didn't feel where the necessity for tight end came last year. So that's why everyone saw my reaction video. I was just like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is. But yeah.
So before we get into the mock draft, we're going to get into something that we have to talk about, right? We're Cowboys content creators. I hate even saying that. I feel cringy. I'm a showman. Okay, that's what I am.
He's
Not
like
a con-
huge. He's like the Hugh Jackman. He's the showman.
I'm a showman.
You're a carnival freak show.
I'm a goddamn carnival freak show. But the Dak Prescott contract, we have to talk about that. Dak Prescott to reset market with Cowboys at $60 million, highest paid ever? ? By Mike Fisher from Sports Illustrated. J-Tuck, fill us in how you feel about this.
Yeah, I know it's the hot topic button where the chat goes crazy or the message boards go crazy.
Yeah, right.
All the message
Dak
boards.
Prescott.
So this is a video I posted yesterday and read it and didn't look back, right? So when it comes to Dak Prescott, I feel like, of course, they're going to have to do it more than likely because he pretty much has all the leverage. Because if not, you're not going to be able to sign CeeDee Lamb. You're not going to be able to do a lot of different things this offseason. And next year is pretty much going to be a lame duck season. So they're going to have to get the deal done. But what I was saying in my video yesterday, if the Cowboys in their heart of hearts feel like, you know what, we're going to do it, but I really don't feel like this is the guy. He can't get us to that level. I really want to move on. Then you need to find a trade partner to move on from Dak Prescott and get something back in return and rip the Band-Aid off. It's either shit or get off the pot when it comes to the Dak Prescott situation. Me personally, I feel like he is the guy. I feel like Dak Prescott is the only thing that's kind of holding us above. I'm still giving that hope because he tell me, okay, we sent Dak to Atlanta and get a few draft picks in this year's class, and we go out there Trey Lance. I'm like, all right, bro.
Atlanta's winning the Super Bowl, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, you give him Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake. I'm like, okay, and so it's like it's one of those things. And so I feel like Dak Prescott is the one thing that's keeping this team just in the conversation. If we take that away, what do we really have? And so, me personally, you're going to have to get the deal done. I know Cowboys fans, they see the number, the 60 mil, and their eyes light up. But it's more about the length of the contract. Is it going to be a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal? Because you give him a $60 million contract and it's 7 years or 6 years, then you're feeling much better about it. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I wouldn't expect anything anytime soon, though, because I just think that Todd France is going to hold their feet to the fire, and the Cowboys remember what happened last time. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation, like I was saying earlier. All season hasn't even begun yet. So here we go, right?
AJ,
Here we go.
AJ, this is something we've talked about, and we kind of mirror what J-Tuck's saying as far as the only way the Cowboys can compete next year is by re-signing Dak Prescott and paying him, right?
I mean, yeah, like his you have to do it. And then regardless though, right? The 60 million number is, first of all, it's just like eye-catching, right? Oh my God, 60 million. But let's just rewind, only 2 years ago, maybe 3, when Dak signed his contract and it was almost the exact same reaction.
Right.
Unless I'm
No, you're right. 40 million. No, you're right.
In the future.
No, 40. It was the 40 million number when I was one of them. I was like, 40. We just paid Dak Prescott $40 million a year. Are you fucking insane? But I'm actually on the other side of it. I'm on the other side of it this time. Like, the number seems big, but for the Cowboys to be competitive,
it's not going to be big next year. Look at all the QBs who are going to re-sign. It's like Dak Prescott will be like
big,
4th.
It's big until the next big quarterback, until whoever gets their next contract. Who are like
exactly
until the next dude.
Right. I
mean,
look at
the next guy
Watson got, like
exactly.
It's and people need to understand it's the market value. It's going to continue to raise. That's why it's good to be the next man up. And so, yeah, Daniel Jones get his contract and different things. And I'm sure the article on Twitter is like when Tony Romo signed his $25 million or I think it's $28 million contract back in the day. People are he's not worth all that, but. Remember, Tony came off one of his best seasons. And so, like, it's hard. Like, he was second in MVP voting. He's not going to be 10th in quarterback salary. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. None of us would work that way, like.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
He's getting paid. Like, I think we're all in the you're in the same, like, he's getting paid.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's getting paid. Then it's going to be a big shitstorm.
But sorry, the only thing I want to tag onto this is like you got to also consider there's going to be another $10 to $20 million in cap space every year. So that's 60 million for the most important position on your team. It's like, okay, so let's take new cap space off 10 million, so it's a $50 million contract the first year. And then it, gets better and better every year. You're either the first one to do it, or you're like, no matter what, the next quarterback in the caliber of quarterbacks that Dak Prescott is considered in the NFL, is going to be the next highest paid quarterback. It's just going to continually do that until the fucking market breaks.
Right.
I don't see that happening for quarterbacks.
Well, this is the thing. I've argued about Dak Prescott being a top 10 quarterback, blue in the face for the last 7 years. Then the season that he finally plays like a top 3 quarterback, I can't be mad when they're going to pay him like the top quarterback, right? Like he did. Yeah. He played it sans the Green Bay game. He was the best quarterback in the NFL. Lamar Jackson got the trophy. To me, Dak Prescott was the best quarterback for the full season, right? He didn't get the Buffalo win, the Miami win, a couple of the games, and that kind of shoot away the MVP trophy. But he was still in the top percentile.
Any other quarterback who isn't named Dak Prescott, who doesn't have a star, who had a season like Dak Prescott, would have been
he's getting 60 mil.
A clear 60 mil, clear MVP. Like
Josh Allen. Oh yeah, it'd have been mania. And here's the thing: keep trying to tell Cowboys fans, whose fault is it that the Cowboys did not sign Dak Prescott before Carson Wentz? They decided to franchise. Like they kicked this down the hill for so long. This is why we're in that situation. So you have two options. You either pay Dak at 60 mil, or y'all can pay Trey Lance that 70 mil down the road, because he's going to be next up and he'll be the quarterback of the Cowboys and he's going to want his money. There's no cheap deals. There's no discount. And people need to get rid of this fallacy and this falseness that Tom Brady was on welfare winning Super Bowls. Like he wasn't, bro. Like he was like Tom Brady was always a top 4, top 5 paid quarterback until like year 13 or something like that. Like something crazy, but he took less money. He sacrificed for the team.
And it's the only thing that I would kind of vouch for or vie for, is when they do the Dak Prescott contract, maybe don't have the no trade clause, maybe don't have the no franchise tag clause, right? Because he really backed the Cowboys into a corner. Like Dak Prescott's agent played his last contract perfectly, like to a T. They got the 4-year deal that the Cowboys didn't want to do. Everyone wanted Dak to be on a 5-year deal. So Dak already set himself up for another big payday while he was 30, about to turn 31. He's going to hit that. So the only thing I would like to see the Cowboys do is maybe have an out this time around, just in case. Like I'd rather Dak be here for his next contract, right? Play out this contract, but the Cowboys also need to protect themselves this time around, being like, okay, well, if there's a point where we need an out, we need to figure that out.
Yeah, well, they're still backed into a corner. So even if they come into the negotiation with a no trade clause, Dak could just not sign.
Right. Yeah, he could.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Dak has all the leverage, right? Because Dak can go into 1 year, 60 mil. You're going to get it regardless whether you play a game or not. And then next year he's a free agent and he walks and you get nothing, no draft picks or anything. And then it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons or the Pittsburgh Steelers going to give him $65 million.
Yeah.
And and the Cowboys are going to be left in the dust. So it's going to be interesting to play how this all plays out. But when you have the leverage, you have the leverage. It's kind of like Zach Martin had last year. Like, bro, like you can play these contract games if you want to, but you need me.
Yeah. Well, and Zach Martin's one of those ones where it's like, give him whatever he fucking wants.
Right,
get him back.
Like,
get him back on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Zach Martin cut to the front of the line, and the Cowboys said, "Fine, bro.
Fine, here, have tomorrow's snaps too,
and
have tomorrow's passes."
Yeah. But it's because it's not always like it's how to think that you're going to get a Mr. Irrelevant pick who still had 2 seasons that were solid as that 7th round last pick of the draft story, or a Tom Brady 6th round who comes in and replaces Drew Bledsoe. Like it's just you can't bank on the fact that a Trey Lance is going to be that guy. So like it's too much of a risk. There's too much money at stake. There's too much things on the line to play around with that.
Yeah, but
And like you said-
Cowboys fan 42 told me that Trey Lance is a lot better than Dak Prescott.
no, but they have.
Well, here's the crazy part about Trey Lance is that when we got Trey Lance, I was the one originally excited about it. Like, okay, that's a good little backup quarterback because I felt like Cooper Rush, you know, if something happened to Dak. And Cowboys fans, like, they were so pissed off at my film session. I'm like, listen, like, he can do a lot of good quality things. He just needs some work. But now he's the savior.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's the savior. So what we have to brace ourselves is that first Trey Lance, the CeeDee Lamb throw at camp.
Yeah.
That goes out there from John Machota, and all hell's going to break loose.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not that easy. I just watched the interview with one of my favorites, and Johnny Manziel. Imagine the hell we would have been in if we would drafted Johnny Manziel and moved on from Rome. Like it's not easy to hit on quarterback. So I don't know why Cowboys fans take the one that we have that's been decent since the moment
I know.
he's gotten here.
Since
for
day one, his first preseason
from
game.
Day one. Like
It's funny that
if last year was our trash Dak season, I'll take that.
Oh hell yeah! It's funny that you brought up the Manziel thing. When that was around, and I was like, I don't care who they take. If they take Johnny Manziel, I don't know if I will watch. And I was that guy. I was like, I don't know if I'll watch a game this year because they had that team was ready. That team was ready to win. That team was so ready to win that I was like, if they take Johnny Manziel, I just don't know if I can watch a football game this year. So I'm so glad they didn't take Money Manziel.
I wanted Johnny, but I wasn't the draft guru I am today. So
you wanted Johnny?
Well, the thing because we were always held hostage about Romo's health. You know, like we could just never say like if Romo went down, our season was down. Like I was just so tired of that. So I'm like, just give me a quarterback that if he goes down, will be perfectly fine. And I felt like even though he said in his interview that he would have been worse in Dallas, I don't think he would have because I think that Jerry Jones would have protected him.
Well, and that team was better. That team was better.
Him throwing to Dez Bryant. But Zach Martin worked out all right.
Zach Martin worked out pretty good.
I mean, Johnny Manziel's documentary was awesome.
Did we watch that on an airplane together?
We might have.
I think.
He's just walking, and it's like
and then we just started throwing money at everyone on the airplane.
Yeah, Johnny football.
And they're like, "That's Canadian money. Are you throwing Monopoly money at us?" We're like, "No, it's Canadian. It's Canadian." But hey, J Tuck,
Canadian, eh?
J Tuck, you talked about being the draft guru, and now we are gonna dive. We are gonna dive into a PFF 7-round fast speed NFL draft, but we're gonna have
some rules.
We're gonna have
so J Tuck is J Tuck. You're the Trill McClay. So
he's the final. No, he's the Jerry Jones.
Oh, you're the Jerry Jones.
He has to sign off on it.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna one up it, like just so it goes because we could sit here.
Hey, fuck you, Alex.
We could sit here and do this draft for the next hour. We can't have that. So I'm even gonna go one step further, and we're gonna put J Tuck on the spot here a little bit. We're gonna make you pick your positions for each round, and that's the position you have to pick. I know that's obviously not ideal because shit changes, but for the exercise of this, for us to get creative, you're going to have to pick your first, second, third. PFF still gives us a 4th round pick, which is weird. So we'll pick that because why the hell not?
Leroy Jenkins says no trades, ?
No trade. Well, no, we can
dangle?
Maybe one trade. We'll see. But I think
we trade away the 4th round pick.
Well, okay, we'll trade the 4th round pick. That's what we'll do. We'll trade the 4th round pick, but J Tuck has to pick each position for each round, and then we have to stick to that. So J Tuck, the floor is yours.
All right. So
all right, we pick it now then. Okay.
All right. So the first position we're going to focus on left tackle. A left tackle.
Okay, left tackle. So round 1, left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna rate. We got AJ's crazy notepad. It looks like someone from a horror movie wrote. AJ, I said to Ad, I was looking at your notepad here. I was like, I just got to go back and read through this. It's probably the mind of a madman. Okay, so Ad, this pen doesn't work. Okay, no, round 1.
That's all I got, bro.
Round 1, left tackle. Okay, round 2.
Round 2, we will go linebacker.
LB. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Round 3, we are going to go interior defensive line.
Okay.
Are we keeping 4? Or are we trading 4?
We're trading 4.
Okay, so then round 5, we'll go running back.
Okay, 5 RB.
6 edge,
Okay.
7 corner.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was 5th round that we traded for Trey Lance.
No, it was a
We traded
4th.
for
Okay,
4.
yeah, 4th.
I know. I heard you make the joke earlier, and I wasn't gonna correct you.
Dan,
I'm
I
glad
think
you.
have a
I got a-
got the comps, I think, back for the 5th.
Yeah.
Right.
And Schultz, I think. I don't remember.
Right.
yeah, there's some comps in the 5th and 6th, so that makes sense.
So we
But
traded away
for
from
the
that.
trade, are we able to say combo trade a 2nd and the 4th to move up?
Yeah, if we're feeling wild.
Hey, don't
I was
ask
gonna
Gans.
say
Ask.
just get rid of it. I was gonna say
Yeah.
just get rid of it so we didn't have a 4th round pick. Because a lot of people say, "Well, how'd you guys pick him in the 4th? We don't have a 4th round pick."
How do you
know?
get rid of it though?
So just send it to like Kansas City for
Oh, just-
7th round for next year. Like,
Okay,
just-
I see what you're saying. Just give it away. Just
yeah,
give it
just
away.
like-
I kind of like
okay.
that. I like that. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sweet. Here we go. We're gonna be on the
Left
clock.
tackle,
We
left
go.
tackle.
I'm going full speed, so we're not gonna see who was drafted. We're just diving in, and it's like we just parachuted in World War II.
Are you gonna
gotta
pause
Figure, you got to figure out. You hit the ground. You don't have your rucksack. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we're parachuting on D-Day.
I told you I've been watching Band of Brothers, Pacific, and then I've been watching Masters there. So I'm all into this army narrative.
You like
that
the
you go with
now?
there.
You
Yeah, I
like that?
it.
Okay, you like that? Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Here we go. Start draft. And booshed. We are at the 24th pick, and we're doing left tackle. So I'm just gonna go right down and select offensive tackle. There's your guys, J Tuck. So let's talk about it.
Zoom it in for him.
Let's talk about it and let's figure out.
All right.
Actually,
yeah.
not terrible. Not terrible at all. And I know who J Tuck's looking at right now. I know who he's looking at. Are you looking at this Morgan guy? I think you picked him before, didn't you?
Yeah, Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. I love this kid. Phenomenal pass pro guy. He's going to be out of the box ready. I think the huge question mark that people are having is just his arm length. So I think we're going to have to wait on his measurements when it comes to the combine. Me personally, I'm not a measurements guy if the film doesn't show any adversity. So for me personally, being Will McClay or Jerry Jones, the conversations between Troy Futano out of Washington, who's a pure left tackle as well, and also Jordan Morgan. I like Tyler Guyton, but he's a little raw. Graham Burton would probably be a guard, so he's phenomenal. So my picks would be between Troy Fatanu or Jordan Morgan.
Okay, so
If
for the
you
Can
like-
fan boys, we gotta get looks on these fucking fellas here.
Yeah, one of the things that you'll notice, we're very shallow.
We're shallow. We base on looks.
We judge the way they look.
We judge
So
on
you
the way
might-
that.
They don't have their picture, right? I don't think they have their picture.
No, we're gonna have to go to. We're gonna have to go
You
to
gotta go to
Draft
Draft
Buzz.
Buzz.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah,
Oh, and I
yeah.
fucked up now that I'm all zoomed in here.
Zoom it out.
Zoom it out. Zoom it out. Walk it out. Walk it out.
You should have had Draft Buzz up on this
I
screen.
know
up
I
over
should
here.
have. Okay, we're gonna go to Draft Buzz real quick.
It's going to throw you guys for a loop because they damn near look alike.
Do they? This is
Yeah.
look at this. This is behind baseball here.
Yeah,
NFL Draft Buzz.
Because guess what? Because we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. But yeah, we do absolutely give a fuck of how they look.
Yeah.
Don't
And
give me
so-
some sort of nerd here, J Tuck.
Yeah, J Tuck. Okay, so who's the first guy? Fatano. How do you say his name?
Troy Fatano.
Troy.
This is also where you get to see that Anth doesn't know how to spell.
Well, I can't see. I have sunglasses on like a dipshit. But how do you spell his last name?
Hey, at least you
Troy.
look cool.
Fat.
Futanu.
Okay, Troy. There he is. That's not him. There is it.
From Washington. I can't see
Oh,
that.
fuck.
There he is, right here. Here we go. Let's see this. There he is. I like that. He looks like a
Whoa.
bruiser.
He is. He's more your bruiser. So if you want your tough, physical, gonna leave your body sore a little bit, it's going to be Troy. If you're looking for your technician, great and pass pro, you're kind of your Stonewall, then it's going to be Jordan Morgan.
I grade people about if I'd fight them or not at a bar. I am not fighting this fucking. I'm not fighting. If I have Alex and Adam and J Tuck, even you, and this guy's challenging us at the bar, I go, hey man, can we just have a beer together? Like, can we have a
So
beer?
What drink do you want us to buy?
Yeah, what do you want us to buy you? So Troy, for as far as the Can fan scale for looks,
And he's from Henderson, Nevada, so maybe he's a little bit of a rich boy, so maybe he doesn't look as tough as he is because his hometown's Henderson.
I don't know. He looks tough. Okay,
Oh.
is Henderson legit? Is it?
Well, Henderson in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas area, is like the nice area, right?
I have no idea. I don't live in Las Vegas. I thought you had some sort of backstory.
That's
for
what
this.
that's what I'm saying. It's like the nice area. If you're moving to to Las Vegas. Henderson, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out, we're from Canada, so we don't necessarily know our neighborhoods in that area, but Henderson's an area that's supposed to be very nice and a little bit up class.
Okay, well now let's check out Jordan Morgan here.
Apparently, Fatanu is a private school kid.
Yeah, well, guess what? Then he's had the best
That's all fake
training
news.
available for his whole life.
Totally.
Smart IQ guy.
Well, you're right, Tuck. You said that they look the same. You're fucking me up here. It's like
I don't know. I think J Tuck's racist by saying they look
yeah,
alike.
it's like it's Tuck. Not only were you racist on this, but it was like Fatanu was Anth, and then Jordan Morgan's me, and they're two brothers.
Yeah,
That's how close they look.
Yeah, I don't know. They're again back to I wouldn't fight this guy at a bar either.
I definitely wouldn't fight Morgan.
And he's it's same size actually. If we're looking at like 6'4", they're both about 315. Shit, fellas. So J Tuck, you got to
sell. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and just real quick, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're not gonna fight any of these guys at a bar.
We're running from both.
Sucker punch and run.
Just throw something.
Yeah, at best.
Throw a chair, and I mean sucker punch. Yeah, by like launching an object at them and then running away. I like both of them. They both look like tough dudes.
Chat saying Leroy Jenkins saying you take Morgan, trade back.
Ooh.
Not okay. Tradesies.
Oh, let's check out some trades here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see.
Well, first ask approval. J Tuck, do you want to check out some trades?
Yeah, we'll see what we got on the clock. What they offering us?
Giants at 39.
That's the most recent.
That's the most recent one. Giants at 39. Do I like fraternizing with the enemy? Not really, but if we can pick something up, if we can pick up something a little later and get our guy, the other option is we go to the 39 and we miss both those guys and we get some schlub.
That's all we get is 39?
Well, no, we'll take, the Giants want to trade 39. We'll trade 24, and then let's see what we can grease them for here. Where does it show the, Ad wanted me to zoom in. I got to zoom out a bit.
Zoom out a bit. I was saying zoom in for Alex and Tuck.
Usually it tells you the percentage, and I'm not, oh, there it is. Okay, so they're obviously 39, so they won't do 39 and 47.
That's 70.
70 is a guaranteed.
Yeah, there we go. I would do that.
We could get 108. We could even meet. Let's try it.
Hey,
I think we got to try it.
Tuck, we're crazy like this on Can Fan, okay? But ask Jerry. Jerry, do you approve, Jerry?
Trade our 24, and we get their 39th,
Jerry
their 70th, their 108th, and their 140th.
Yeah, get approval from Jerry Tuck. He has to.
But we might miss out on a starting tackle.
That's what I'm saying. Tuck, you're Jerry Jones. You're Jerry Tuck today. So.
Jerry, this is Mike Zimmer here. I just want to say that's a lot of picks we're dropping to.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Yeah, I think we miss out on all our tackles. I don't think we're getting our guy at 4. I know he's ranked 40th. I know Morgan's ranked 40th, but I don't think he's going to be there at 39 when we pick. So I think we end up losing out on the two guys we're talking about drafting.
And then
to get some schlubs.
Are you willing to be? Are you willing, Mike, to be stuck with Matt Waletzko?
No, fuck no. That you sold me. We ain't doing this. So Jerry Tuck, we're going to you. Which one of these guys do you want? We're gonna select them right now.
Draft it. Yeah, in the menu, Ant.
Where?
Right beside trade, you just gotta select draft player. No, don't click those.
No, I know.
Down.
Yes. I usually do this on the phone. Well, I usually do this on my phone while I'm pooing.
Okay. Here we go.
Let's go with Troy.
All right, Troy. Welcome to the team.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Did anyone else? I feel like we just picked a winner. Super Bowl.
Now it's linebacker, gentlemen.
Yeah, okay, let me get to the LBs, baby.
Troy, so that's interesting. J-Tuck, I never thought about going offensive lineman in the first round, but in this Marvel Universe spinoff here that we're doing, I actually feel really good about the O-line suddenly. And that's a nice weight to have lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah. Because if Tyron goes down, let's go.
Yeah.
That would be my picture if I was in the draft room. It's like I would just have a picture of Matt Waletzko. It's like, you want this to be your left tackle?
And that actually, I saw these picks and I was so excited. And as soon as you said that, I was like, crack me if you got him. J Tuck, I got a question though, because I know Mims has been a guy that a lot of Cowboys fans have talked about.
Mhm.
Before we get into the linebackers, what are your thoughts on Mims as a first round talent for us?
So Mims has extreme upside. The question that I've been asking Cowboys fans when it comes to Mims is he's played primary right tackle his entire career. So I just don't feel like there's a need at right tackle. And to make the transition from being right tackle your entire career to left tackle, especially at the NFL level, isn't an easy transition. So that's my question for a lot of Cowboys fans. Like, he's a phenomenal player. Now, some people are like, we can move on from Terrence to 2026 and but that's down the road. I'm talking about this season.
Now,
And so I'm just not really sure. Yeah, right now. So I like Mills, but I just feel like from a Cowboys standpoint, you just paid Terrence Steele. He's going to be out there. It's not an easy transition from right tackle to left tackle. So that's the reason why I would be out on the Mills for the Cowboys standpoint.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because crack if you got him, Matt. Crack if you got him.
Can I ask a quick silly question? What is the major differences between left and right tackle? Is it just the mirror?
The sides of the field.
Yeah. No, it's
Fuck
just,
you.
it's just like with with your stance, with your kick, it's like just playing with your left or right hand, right? So with your punching, you're punching with different hands. And so, a lot of people, and sometimes the different caliber of athletes that you're facing against too as well. Now the game is transitioning where right tackles are getting your Micah Parsons that you're battling, but it's comfort level. Like for me personally, when I played linebacker, like when I had my right hand in the dirt, I was much comfortable than when I had my left hand in the dirt. Like it's just, it's just those little small things that a lot of people don't think of. So
little nuances.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So we are at pick 56, and we have to pick linebacker. So you got Junior Colson, Jeremiah Trotter, and
Leon. Yeah, so Leon just posted in the chat. That's a good thing. So I know the guy earlier was like, we're not going to move Tyler Smith. Now, if you were to move Tyler Smith to left tackle, I would have easily took Graham Barton at left guard, and we would have got up out of there. But we're going to keep Tyler Smith at left guard and play the Cowboys game.
Yeah. So he was just saying. Leroy said I would have took Barton and moved Smith to left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea of moving Tyler Smith.
With that though, I think we're all pretty much at the point.
They're not going to do it.
He's kind of in that Zach Martin zone where Zach Martin there was times should have kicked out and played tackle and could have and been a good tackle, and they just Martin came out and said he wouldn't, and then they just kept him at guard, right? So I think Tyler Smith is kind of in that same. I'm not going to call it the Zach Martin rule, but kind of in that same situation where he's our left guard. Like he's our left guard.
I think Tyler Wood. I think the Cowboys just won't do it. So
yeah.
Cool. So linebacker here. So we're looking at
zooming in from
and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Me personally, and I've been trying to tell Cowboys, you better eat your medicine. I know we have this thing about Michigan players. If you want your built for tough middle linebacker eating up blocks, high IQ, green dot guy, it's Junior Colson clearly. Like I think he's almost like 240 or something like that. Like I did a film session on him. Like he is built for tough. That is your guy. But Cowboys fans see Michigan. So if you can close your eyes in 247. So if you can close your eyes and put a Penn State helmet on him, he's the prospect.
Yeah, Leroy's agreeing with you because ignore the helmet. Colson is a dog.
6'3", 247. I don't give a shit what his helmet says. And my biggest knock on Jeremiah Trotter is he's too small for me.
Jeremiah fits the new NFL mold. When we watch Jeremiah Trotter, I like my linebackers revved up. That's why I like Adrian Cooper so much. Like I want you on go. I want you coming downhill, shot out of a cannon. When I watch Jeremiah Trotter, there's like some hesitation when he comes to shoot out his hips and get out of his stance. So, you can kind of say the same thing with Junior Colson, but Junior Colson is IQ and he just played the national championship and he was the anchor of that team. And like you said, that's a linebacker right there when you look at him, the neck, the size.
Oh, yeah. Does it look like he's comfortable taking it's like he double chinned it for the photo? Like
Yeah. Like he's gonna eat up those blocks. He's not gonna be afraid, to help with our run game. So I would definitely go with Junior Colson at this pick.
Look, And little throwback here, does he not look like the sugar-eating alien from Men in Black?
There you go.
More water or more sugar.
Yeah, except he's
Sugar and
yeah,
water.
Yeah.
You're talking about Vincent D'Onofrio's character in there.
More sugar. Hey
Here's the
man,
other thing.
6'3", 247.
I know Negger, and that ain't Negger.
Yeah, Nedger. He's like, that's not because Nedger, and because he ends up being all, and the chick, his wife's like, that's not Nedger.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Right.
But I don't even need to look at Jeremiah Trotter because I know his stats, I know his size, and I want a big motherfucker at linebacker. 6'3", 247 is fitting that mold.
AJ, what were you gonna say there? You want to talk about his size? Yeah, he has a big wiener. We know that. Okay.
Get in on it.
I look. If Anth was full mast before, I am full mast now. This is the size I like. But here's the thing: Overshown, mind you, he's coming off the injury, so we'll see how. Is he going to have an asterisk year? I hope not. But he's the kind of smaller, lighter, side to side, I guess, coverage linebacker.
Mhm.
Whereas this guy is the more big body dude. So
This is your
I
middle
wouldn't wanna
linebacker.
Double down.
This is your middle
Yeah,
linebacker.
exactly.
Overshown's not coming in to play middle linebacker. He isn't. If we get this guy, that's just not happening. Overshown, they didn't draft Overshown to be a middle linebacker. They wanted him to be the guy beside Leighton Vander Esch, right? That's what they're thinking about when they draft Overshown. Same thing with Damone Clark. Damone Clark was never going to be that dude that came in and was the guy running downhill trying to get a TFL, or the guy that's going. He's not that guy. He's not a Roquan Smith. He's not a Fred Warner.
Guy,
Pardon?
He said he's not that guy, pal.
He's not that guy, pal. So we have players on the team that can assist a middle linebacker, but Leighton Vander Esch with this back injury, I would be very surprised if LVE comes back, to be honest.
Yeah. What
So
do you think about LVE there, Tuck?
Yeah, I just think with the injuries, it kind of mounting, kind of just reading the tea leaves, kind of seeing where his focus hasn't really been football. He's been kind of like his advertising thing and his hunting thing. I can kind of see him hanging it up, is kind of hanging it up. So I don't think he's going to return. And even if he was to return, I still think we need a different boost at the linebacker position. It needs to be revved up. It needs to go to another level, to another speed. And these younger guys can do that. So for me personally, I would bring in a veteran middle linebacker, free agent guy.
I'll
IQ
share.
guy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bring him in and then have these young guys around him for your speed, your athleticism, for your sideline to sideline. So Junior Colson would be my pick.
Okay.
You're sold. I'm sold. I think we're all sold.
Yeah,
on
we're
that.
all sold on it. And guess
Love
what?
that.
It doesn't matter if Jerry Tuck is sold on it. We're
Jerry
fucking.
Tuck. I
we're-
love that shit.
We're fucking.
Jerry
We're
wants-
drafting
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Tuck
Jerry
Jones.
Tuck Jones.
Welcome to the
the
team. Okay, here we go. Spencer Rattler is our next pick. That guy's a weird looking dude, Spencer Rattler. I'll tell you that. So here we go. Interior DI. Let's go. Okay.
Ooh, yes.
The fact that
I like that you just got excited just by seeing the names.
This is the fact that like by just looking at a name.
None of these names make any
I could be looking at French right now.
Well, like I said, it's a process. Like, I probably can't share my screen, but I show people numerous times, like the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes to build the draft. So people see me posting mock drafts all the time, but it's like flashcards, right? And so I know, like, when I get in like the 6th round, and like, okay, I don't know these guys. At least I know I'm ahead of a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
6th round. So now I know, okay, we're in the 3rd round, the 4th round, 5th round. I'm good. Then we got some extra layers to do. So me personally, Jerry Jones is Dwayne Carter out of Duke. Man, this guy is one of my favorite prospects at the defensive end. Now he's not going to be your 1 tech or your 0, right? But he's going to be your 3 tech, a guy that can get pressure, live in the backfield. Had a good Senior Bowl as well. Yeah, I love this prospect. I got a film session coming on him soon, but he stays
Nice.
revved up. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for motor guys, right?
Looks like a coach.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like coach, high IQ guy, right?
looks like he's trying to sell you
Insurance.
insurance or
Sure,
sell you like
Hey.
Credit card at the airport.
And also, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But also, with Zimmer coming in, the new defensive coordinators coming in, the new defensive staff, I want coachable guys with high motor that can take to the next level.
Great
And
smile.
yeah, Dwayne, great smile, great kid, easy to learn. So Dwayne Carter would be my pick here.
No, I'm not even a question. I mean, it sounds like you're a size
gonna,
guy too.
I'm gonna question it a little bit. I'm just gonna look at Michael Hall Jr. just because. Why not? Let's check him out.
Look,
look at
time on the clock.
Also, look at Taylor. I mean, out of Miami as well. So, but if you're looking at the best prospect, I would probably go with Carter.
Michael Hall Jr.
And you're taking up. Michael Hall Jr. Looks like you.
You just got skipped.
While we're looking this up, how much do you factor in like strength of schedule? I guess in college, is that a huge factor, or is it not as big of a factor?
Not really, not strength of schedule. I like to watch the big games, right? So, for instance, when I did Edgerrin Cooper, I did Alabama. So, how are you versus the big guys, right? Because if you just show out versus St. Mary's and you go crazy, right? That really doesn't translate. Because for me as a Cowboys fan, I want players who've played in the big moments. And you take a player like Junior Colson, who just led to a national championship, getting to the wild card is not going to be too bright lights for him. This is Michigan football, so I'm looking at those types of players that kind of have some elk about them, but I'm not looking at strength of schedule. I'm just looking at how they perform versus certain opponents, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
So your guy from Duke, a couple of his strengths, Carter plays with leverage and brings good power, especially in his lower body, consistently holding up against double teams in the run game. That's huge because we've seen, I hate to say it, Mozzie Smith not do that. Like anytime Mozzie got double teamed, he was blown out, right?
When he wasn't laid off the line, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Delivers a strong punch and uses his hands to shed blocks to make plays in the hole or outside the box. Uses lower body strength to anchor inside. So those 2 points alone are massive for a guy that you want to shore up your middle of your line. So very, very strong.
What's his weakness?
Oh, you want a weakness? Okay.
One weakness.
Carter doesn't have the skill set for interceptions. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what I was. Carter doesn't have the skill set to bend around the edge. He'll have to attack gaps as a pass rusher. Well, I mean, I don't think that's really a negative if you're in the interior, right? Like you're never expecting your interior defensive line.
Sometimes I like to send my interiors out on the edge. Okay?
You know what?
Same with the guy looking over your shoulder right now, AJ.
That would be more if you're like looking to use him like as a 3-4 kind of end,
right?
Right.
The thing with his weaknesses, he had like 7 strengths and he only has 3 weaknesses. So I think that's a more telling thing than anything. He only has 3, and then
four to strengths.
Let's give one more. While he's a decent lateral mover, Carter doesn't show great closing speed when he has to chase in pursuit. Again, I mean, I feel like that's reaching a little bit. We're taking this guy.
Take him.
Dwayne Carter, welcome to the team.
Woo! Hey, not a bad draft so far.
Okay, so now we got our 4th pick. We're just trading this away.
Sending it off.
We gotta send it off.
I like that Tuck said to the KC Chiefs, but I'm gonna give it to the Texans. JK, let's go to. We're giving it to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 198.
Hey, forget about it.
Thanks to Jerry.
No, other way, Ann.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We're over here.
Idiot.
What a dumb shit, eh?
Don't give them our 7th too.
So we're just going 125th for their round set, okay?
Next year.
Just getting rid of it.
Thanks to Jerry Jones.
Man, Steelers just got scolded.
What the hell just happened? The Steelers are like.
Okay, what do we got next? So next, we got RB.
Say it, AJ.
Say it, AJ.
Say it, AJ. Say it, Delay J.
Delay J.
Jerry's in assault coma. Everyone, start calling him.
He doesn't know where he is. I just thought I had a good chance to trade a good pick. Okay, Tuck.
Running back now.
We're at halfback, running back position.
Frank Gore Jr. Do we take it? Does Jerry Jones? Does
I like Frank Gore.
I don't know any of these names minus Frank Gore Jr. I will be honest.
Magellan. Scroll down. I think my guy Isaiah Davis might still be there from South Dakota State.
There he is.
Yeah. You also have Mike Williams. But the crazy thing,
I like Davis. I
love Davis, man. He's revved up. He kind of reminds me of Pacheco. And you just had Braylon Allen sitting right there out of Wisconsin, who I love. And if you're a size guy, like that's your big physical bruiser. But we gave away our 4th pick. So if I'm
Yeah,
going
he's a
running
good
back
he's a good size.
yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I would probably consider if we don't need Tracy. I mean, I would go with Frank Gore Jr.
Well, Leroy Jenkins is saying Emmett Smith's son is there too. Is Emmett Smith's son on the list there?
Where's he at?
Let's see, way down here probably.
Probably farther down.
Don't see him.
Nope. FGJ.
I think just at this point, we just got to go with him.
You know,
Frank Gore Jr.
You know, Jerry wants to sign a
If he
name.
has 30% of the genes his dad had with just
Right.
staying healthy, like
Yeah.
and staying like longevity.
Yeah, Frank.
that
Frank-
longevity
how
gene's
long
there-
did Frank Gore actually play? For 25 seasons.
It's been
Who's having
84 years. We're taking him.
Just,
He's still playing.
well, just consider Jace. Jace is
Ooh, okay.
yeah. So
just consider.
you could go with you could go with Frank Gore. You could go with Jace. You could go with Mayan. I feel like for what Cowboys fans are wanting, you're wanting more of a bell cow workhorse back. So those kind of be your. You're not looking for a.
Well, let's see. We got one trade at 183. I think this is the one time I think we could trade back and still get either of those guys.
And here's
Yep.
yeah, you're right.
I think we could trade back and get either of those guys. Let's try it, guys.
Okay, cool. Go with
Well, hey, no, Jerry, don't just start saying cool. Like
Uh,
you have to
well,
approve. Don't let Mike McCarthy fucking tell you what he
Mike
wants.
McCarthy. I'm all high on Whataburger over here.
He's barely able to breathe off of the Whataburger. Fucking.
So what are they giving us? They're giving us 183 for our 173.
let's check. No, we'll be able to sweeten the pie. You know Mike McCarthy.
You
likes
know
a little
Mike McCarthy,
pie
like,
sweetener.
If we're doing any trade,
Oh,
either
yeah,
way,
we could
I'm
pick
getting some
up-
pie here.
We could pick up 2 more picks, probably 223 and 256.
Just get the 223. from
Well,
there.
I'm gonna try right now to see if we can get the 256. If they don't accept, we'll. Oh, you little sluts!
Yeah, that's not bad. They'll accept this for sure.
Let's try this. I want the grade to be good on my trade. Okay.
He's greedy. Oh, there he
Okay,
goes.
okay.
Hey, now we're
Hey, let Mike cook.
let Mike cook.
Let Mike cook.
If Mike knows how to do
Hey.
anything, he doesn't know how to cook. He knows
Mike-
how to fucking Uber Eats.
Mike,
okay?
why are you cooking Why are you cooking bacon with ground beef? You shut your goddamn mouth.
I'm on keto. Shut your mouth.
Okay, so what are we
Delicious.
taking here? We're taking a running back.
Running back. All right, boom. you can
Both
get
our guys are still there.
there. Boom.
So now I need. So AJ's saying Jace.
Ultimately, I honestly like Isaiah Davis the best.
Yeah,
But-
I do.
That's too far back.
It is far back, but Jace is. But who cares about these effing numbers? Jace would be my number 2.
I get it. His name is the same name as Pacheco. They have the same first name. I get it. It doesn't mean he is that guy. Give me sell me on Davis. Sell me on Davis.
Okay.
Actually, don't sell me.
J
Sell
Tuck.
J Tuck on Davis.
Okay.
Jerry Tuck.
Sell Jerry Tuck on Davis.
I'm not going to tell you anything
You don't have to
you
sell
already
me on
don't
it.
need to know.
You have to sell me on well, you can go ahead.
Exactly.
Sell me on Davis. Go ahead though. I want to hear your pitch.
Exactly. And you tell me what I'm missing. He's got just a great running back body, 6 foot, 220.
That is juicy.
He's just improved in his college game year after year, and is able to catch the ball too. He's in like the top percentile on PFF of all of his grades in term like rush grade, zone grade, elusive rate, gap grade. And he's a big yards after tackle dude. So not necessarily that big 247 AJ Dillon, but still a very like a big, good sized.
He's
running
meaty.
back.
He's meaty. You like the meat. You like the meaty. You like
Yeah.
that he's 6 foot 220. That's stocky. That is a stocky guy.
So
I
you
just don't
got-
like that you handcuffed us having to pick this positional group.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because now, extra picks, I mean, we can honestly see what the board because we could probably come back and get Isaiah Davis.
We could
I mean,
trade back
Because,
actually.
because here's the thing: like 3 out of 4 of us were all BPA guys. Delay J is the only one who doesn't want to take BPA. Tuck wants to take BPA. You want to take BPA. I want
Okay,
to take BPA.
Are we gonna go
Gonna hold
here?
hands here? Okay.
We almost held hands. Are we gonna shake and bake here? Are we going to say we can go BPA for 1 round and this is the round? Let's
Good
see
thing
who
I
we
got
got.
there.
Let's
Go
see
on.
who we got.
Who's
I'm-
available?
Let's see
Sure,
who's
I
available
think
right
that's
now.
fair. We gained a pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gained a couple picks.
Okay.
Like, why would we penalize our team for just some sort of stupid boundaries? You know,
A lot of safeties, a lot of safeties, a lot of running backs.
keep scrolling. Tuck hasn't went half mass yet on anybody.
Not yet. Not yet.
We're in the two. Now we're in the twos almost.
We already took a linebacker.
I would take Brew McCoy just for his name.
I do like Still Chambers' look. Just for a look, I've watched a couple of his highlights.
Yeah. I mean, if you
And
wanna
his
double
name.
pick a linebacker, you could. You have Julian Perro. We already got tackle, right? We did tackle first round.
Yep.
There's our boy Frank
Yep.
Gore. Frank Gore and Isaiah is coming up.
Over and look at center real quick. Ooh,
Center,
Tyron-
you want to see centers?
I think there's a center available. We can probably wait though.
Let's check it out.
We probably could wait.
That pass it.
See what's there.
Interior offensive line.
There we
I
go.
think.
Hunter Norzad from Penn State.
Yeah, so you
And
got
then
like
there's
Tanner. So I can probably come. What pick are we at?
We're at, I believe we are at 180,
You know what?
183.
183.
You know what? We're gonna run it back. Go get Isaiah Davis.
Let's do it. Fuck it. You guys have sold me.
Okay.
I love the kid.
You guys have sold me. Let's get him.
Now, if you
Welcome
want
to
to
the
get- if you want to
team,
get-
baby.
Oh, welcome to the team. Sorry,
There you go. Hell, we could have turned around and got Frank Gore too. Okay, now
Now we're edge.
we're drafting double RBs. Let's go.
Well, now we're edging.
Oh,
edge,
I
right?
would not be against that, by the way.
Double up.
I don't disagree with the double running back draft strategy either. Later in the rounds, if there's two guys that could possibly battle, yeah, and you need one of them to be better than Rico Dowdle, I don't hate that later on, to be honest.
It'd be interesting to see what the Cowboys do with Rico.
So this is our edge game, and we're at this part of the draft for CanFan where I'm sitting on a beach with a mocktail, just enjoying my day. Listen to Jerry Tuck.
So are you looking for a pass rushing edge or just an edge setter, big physical guy?
If I had to pick between the two, I'm looking for someone that can replace or at least a little bit duplicate DeMarcus Lawrence, which I think is kind of an edge setter more so than a pass rusher.
So then that would probably be Cedric Johnson out of Mississippi. I think he's like 265 or something like that. So you got your size guy there. Yeah, I would do that. But if you're looking for probably your best edge player that's available, you probably want to go between JJ Weaver or Solomon.
Leroy Jenkins is asking, is Trajan Jim Jeffcoat's
Size
son?
me up, man.
Sorry, both you guys are talking.
Sorry,
what?
AJ wants to see size, obviously.
So okay, so add so and then you wanted to see who?
No, I was saying Leroy Jenkins is saying is Trajan Jim Jeffcoat's son.
I am not sure.
No, not sure. And then
Trajan Jeffcoat down here. I don't know.
And then Leroy Jenkins is also saying Gore is still on the board. So we're talking about doing two halfbacks. We stayed with our pick the last one.
Look at this.
Doesn't hey,
Edge.
but
BPA. We could still go BPA.
We could still go BPA. Technically.
Do you guys want to still roll that? Do you want to look
Let's
at
just take a
BPA
look.
right now?
Hey, just diddle us a little
Okay,
bit.
let's diddle it up.
Diddle us a little bit here.
See, we can go BPA.
I mean, there they are.
I mean, there's that center.
Yeah, go get Tanner.
I think that's as far as best, not even as far as best player goes and positional of need.
a little bit of both.
I
right?
think
You
that's. I think
I
that's
feel better about taking a center.
same. And I'm just gonna take
Yeah.
him because he's the only center.
Well,
in-
hey, you can't. You don't have authority. Who
Hey.
Who the fuck are you, Mike?
Hey, what, look at this.
Oh,
Drafted.
shit.
Great.
Drafted.
Oh shit! Welcome to the
To the team.
team.
Sorry, this is J Tuck. Usually I'm on the couch. I don't even usually know what's going on back here. I'm usually
wake up
just
and
here for the
shout.
ride. And today they gave me the goddamn controls.
I can't mute him. I can't do anything.
Can't
he has,
mute
He
me?
has a, well, technically I could take his screen off. I can mute him, but
So for we have 2 picks left. We traded. We gained 1. I think now we have to go back to our order that J Tuck
Edge and CB.
Yeah, we got to go Edge and then CB.
Yeah, like I mean,
think that's how
we
have to
made the
do.
trade. We had this like phantom kind of pick that we could take.
Yep.
And we took a center.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right back to
I
the
like
same
it.
dudes that we were talking about last time.
Um, Let's see. I would go with Cedric Johnson, honestly.
Let's just get. I want to see some size here.
Yeah, that's what AJ wanted. AJ wanted to get
6'3", 265. Me likey.
Lot of beat.
That's a heavy bit. That's a heavy man.
That's a heavy dude.
Plays at Ole Miss, so he's not some sort of fucking schlub.
They have a movie about him.
Or he could be Sam Williams' replacement, right?
Let's just look at Weaver just for shits and gigs. 6'5", 245. I'd rather the shorter and heavier than the taller and lighter, to be honest. I honestly would. A 6'5" for an edge. I don't know. I'd rather a guy that can get lower, can bend around the corner than a 6'5" for an edge. Pure edge to me seems too big. Tall.
Leroy wants to know what's AJ Wood's size. Is AJ Woods scroll down a little bit?
Oh, AJ. I thought you meant AJ.
Yeah, well, AJ's.
You tripped me out. I was like, someone's asking about AJ's dick right now.
Well, I mean, I don't even see an AJ Woods on there.
Yeah, so I don't think they were asking about that.
If you want to go more,
AJ. He's asking about AJ's boner.
Yeah,
boner?
That's how I took it.
That's how I didn't take it.
If you want to go even more size, you probably could look at Miles Cole out Texas Tech, but that's like
let's
290. We could get him next if we want.
We might even be able to get him undrafted.
Bigger, like let's see.
Oh yeah, I don't like that. I don't honestly as edge rusher. I don't really like the tall, to be honest. I think we're going with who was it? Cedric Johnson.
Cedric Johnson.
Ole Miss. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Now we got to get that CB.
For the record, there is AJ Woods CB from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
5'10", 186.
Yeah, that's exactly what Leroy said at the same time as you. AJ Woods out of Pitt, cornerback.
Look at this shit. There's 3 cornerbacks left.
Holy fuck.
Oh, shit.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, look at safeties as well.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Let's go DBs.
Yeah.
Let's go DB.
Yeah.
DB.
Because I get you
Hey, you
you
don't
can
know
take a
how
safety and drop him down.
Zimmer, exactly, Zimmer. You don't know what Zimmer's going to do. He's a wild man.
There we go.
Free safety, strong safety. All I know is just get on the fucking field.
That juices us up a bit.
So my guy, my favorite prospect right here is Kenny Logan. Because I cover the Kansas Jayhawks here locally. Kid's phenomenal. He also is a punt returner as well, kick returner as well. Phenomenal guy. Can play deep. He can play in the box. He can play all over. So Kenny Logan would be my pick. But you also have Tyler Owens as well. So I like the safeties that's available over the corner.
Yeah,
well, hey, I like that too. Let's take a look at what Kenny looks like. And the fact that J Tuck covers him,
yeah, it makes me want to take him right off the hop. They're right there.
I like Kenny Logan, man. He's a dog. Like I wanted Kenny Logan last year actually, but he didn't come out. So
that's my guy right there. Kenny Logan's my guy.
Kenny Logan Jr.
5'10", 213. That's a good size for safety. Mm-hmm. I'd rather that than these 3 schlubs at CB.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy that you were talking about there, Jerry?
Tyler Owens out of Texas Tech.
Tyler Owens?
Yeah.
Tyler Owens sounds like he's from Fight Club.
We knew a guy named Tyler Owens that we went to high school with. Didn't really like the guy, to be honest. So we're not even going to look at him.
Screw Tyler, it's probably him, right?
I think it's Kenny Logan Jr.
Yeah, Kenny Logan's size, man. He's a little missile. 5'10", 215. Sign me up.
Jerry Tuck. I pulled the trigger earlier and I drafted him before you gave me the go ahead. Can we take this guy?
Go ahead.
Let's get him. Welcome to the team. Let's see our draft grade.
Good draft.
See.
Okay, here, let me zoom out.
Isaiah Davis a D minus. Fuck you.
Yeah, they
didn't start very hot. But we got the players we wanted.
B minus, I'll take that. It's better than the F minus of last year's draft.
Right.
We already drafted better than any of the Cowboys team from last year. I like it, guys. We hit the needs. We hit a bunch of needs. B minus, we got a little crazy. Isaiah Davis, you never know. The guy could turn out to be the thing I like about doing these mock drafts, I like going back during the season next year or even at the end of the season and looking at this and seeing how the players that we picked actually did. I've done that a little bit from for this year from last year, so this will be a fun one to look at.
Yeah, I like this draft. I mean, because people got to understand, right? Because I know a lot of Cowboys fans get caught up in the grades. All they're gonna do is like go off the highest rated. So if you want to cheat the system, just pick the number 1 player that's there, then give you like top grades, right? So don't worry about the grades, worry about the prospect, worry about the player. I guarantee you guys, if you watch Isaiah Davis, I'll break him down soon. He's a baller. Like,
well, I'm gonna look at the main thing out of this draft. I look at the top 3 B minuses. I'll take that.
Yeah, so you got 3 instant starters, right? I mean, depending on what they do with Tyron Smith, 3 instant starters. I feel like Isaiah Davis, if you move on from Tony Pollard, he can be in the fold with Rico. He will probably get Deuce up out of there. Tanner will probably compete with Hoffman. He could probably win that job. Cedric will be a rotational special teams guy, but with his size, you're definitely going to have him out there. And Kenny Logan will be a special teams guy, but he can definitely work his way in the fold. With those safeties, good. You're good. So
I like that draft. Hey, J Tuck, it's been a pleasure having you, man.
Well, you're just calling him out like that.
We're
eh?
calling it out. That's how I roll. I like when I'm about to do a call out and then you call out my call out.
I have to get stuff. But I don't have anything ready here.
Well, okay. Well, then while I'm talking to J Tuck, you start doing your thing behind the computer. J Tuck, always a pleasure having you. I know it was the first time we've been chatting about this for, I don't know. It's been a while. Me and you've been sending weird pictures of each other to each other on DMs.
Yeah.
But we've tried to get you
fun
on.
fact, Ant's been sending pictures of AJ's wiener to you, which is bizarre.
But we've been trying to get J Tuck on for a while. He's a busy guy. He covers a lot of stuff. AJ's in Thailand. But J Tuck, before we get rid of you, where can people find you? We got your Twitter page up here with a bunch of stuff you do, but give your own shout out.
yeah, appreciate you guys for having me on, man. It's been a long time overdue. I had a blast. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok. Now I'm back on TikTok. I'm trying to figure it out. And also Twitter at JTuck151. My YouTube channel is CFO Sports, so come on through. We're doing a lot of draft talk right now. I'm probably like 16 film sessions of prospects. We got a lot more coming. So definitely come and find out, learn about the draft. And then of course, High Point Sports with Des Bryant. We're doing a lot of fantasy stuff, a lot of great things just for fans. We got the big Dallas tailgate that you guys attended. That was a Thanksgiving game. So it's my guy Des.
That you snuck us into, actually.
It's like, I didn't sneak you guys.
No, he walked up. He said, "These motherfuckers are from Canada and they're with me."
Well, the funniest thing is we had never even met, really. And J Tuck just hooked us up with bracelets. And we had a great time.
I look out for my people, man. So yeah, so salute to Des and High Point, KLKC Radio here in Kansas City, ESPN Radios. That's where I cover the Jayhawks, Kansas City Chiefs and stuff, man. So just staying working, staying busy. I'm having a blast doing it. So I appreciate all the support from Cowboys fans and NFL fans. And we're gonna turn up with this draft stuff, man. For me personally, I'm not a free agent guy because we ain't gonna buy shit. So I feel like the draft is my only option. So that's where it's going.
Are you going down to the draft this year, or you staying away from Detroit?
It's Detroit.
I know,
Yeah, that's what we
felt.
said. That's
what we
exactly what
felt.
we said.
Yeah, I'm booked to go there, but I'm thinking I want to do something bigger, and I want to do something in Dallas with the fan base.
Nice.
So I'm trying to figure that whole out. Like maybe do like a live show where I have like all the fans just pull up at a
Oh,
club.
dude, yeah.
And I know I got you to call yourself out, and I did kind of maybe go a little too early. I do want a final thought of the Cowboys, or the final thought from everyone here, Ad, Alex, and J Tuck. I'm going to sit this one out because I tried calling us out too early.
Yeah.
But off season's here. Let's all get a final thought and what we want to see in this off season or draft season. And then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'll go first. I feel like
Go
okay.
for it.
No, J Tuck, you go first. Don't let Alex talk.
You're in Thailand, man. It's probably early morning. For me, I want to see a sense of urgency. I want to see a sense of urgency from this team. A lot of people's been kind of on me about the Zimmer hire. Like, I wasn't upset about the Zimmer hire. I'm just upset about how it went down. Like, I feel like there was no sense of urgency. We kind of sat on our hands, let Dan Quinn interview, and we was going to welcome him back. And then he left and took Joe with them. And then it's like, okay, we're kind of scrambling, right? So I want to see that sense of urgency when it comes to free agency, getting Dak signed, getting CeeDee Lamb signed. Like, don't let things linger, because the longer you let things linger, the louder the pollution gets. And I definitely don't want to have a lot of pollution this offseason. And when the draft comes, go get what you want. If you know you need a left tackle, don't sit back and just hope that someone falls for it. If you're at 24 and your guy's at 19, go get him at 19. Like, the Cowboys really need to be in win now mode because our fan base is tired. We're frustrated. I don't care about the future. I just want to win now. So you do all you can. So that's pretty much my focus for this offseason.
Hell yeah. AJ?
Yeah, same thing. We need to win this year, and that's what I think they should be doing it in all this off-season focus should be.
Go now. Just don't actually go all in.
Well,
Yeah.
look, I think a positive light, and we didn't even really touch much on it, but like Jimmy Johnson's on the advisory board, whatever that means. I think after his halftime speech and him trying to light a fire and him being back in the Ring of Honor and seeing the positivity that brought to Cowboys Nation, having him in the fold of being on the advisory board isn't a bad thing, regardless of whether or not it's how much he's going to say. If you're there and you're in somebody's ear, I think that kind of helps. Bringing in a guy like Zimmer to really fire the team up. I just want to see them do exactly what Tuck said. Win now mode. Do everything you need to do to win this year. Don't think about 3 years from now. Jerry Jones is going to die. So, like, he needs
cryptic. Leave it on a cryptic note.
He needs a Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
He needs to bookend his legacy when he bought the Cowboys to when he finally steps back and he kind of withers away into the ashes. Jerry Jones needs that Super Bowl. Cowboys Nation needs that Super Bowl. It's all about this year. I don't give a fuck about 2025. 2024 is the season to go for it. And I think they already are making steps with it where we do see, again, Jimmy Johnson on the advisory board, bringing in somebody who has that gruffness on the defensive side, which to kick some of these guys in the butt. So
yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Cowboys Nation, CanFan Maniacs, thanks for stopping by. Jay, Tuck, appreciate it. You got on one time. Now we're gonna hound you every day. But
hey, Jerry Tuck, do you want to come on?
Hey man, what are you doing? Like, can we just FaceTime? I'm at work real quick. I want to hear what you think about this guy. Guys, CanFan Maniacs, we are all in this together. We got a long off season, but it's the fun season. We all get to speculate. Every team in the NFL is 0-0, and we all get the chance to get better. Anyone out there, crack them if you got them, son. We'll see you on Sunday, baby. Or twist them if you got them.
Or twist them if you got them.